All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hello.
What is happening?
We got a weird technical issue here on a Wednesday.
It's usually how it rolls.
My computer broke again.
Oh, nice.
So I don't have any updated audio clips. I don't tee you guys up today.
Okay.
And then also my headphones are turned super down. And when I turn them up and I finally get where I need them,
Sure, right
he
level.
then comes in the other Brandon
number
way
2.
too loud.
Brandon number 2, we got to calm you down over there, all right? Dial it back a little bit. Don't be yelling at us this early in the morning.
We got to communicate, but I'm going to have to do it with my headphones off.
We're going to need
sorry,
some,
guys, I'm sorry.
yeah, talk like you're Jim Nance and it's Sunday at Augusta.
Hello, friend.
Hello, Brandon. I'm going to need you to play the audio clips yourself today. Can we talk in sign language? Do you know any sign language? Can
I
we do
tried to
that?
learn sign language, actually, a
Did
couple
ya?
years ago, yeah.
I got a few because we tried to teach the kiddo that. Like, that's the thing people try and do with their kids of, like, you know, more before they can start talking to get them to tell you what they want and what they need. Didn't really work that well. I think we got more. He knew how to do that one. Thank you. He knew the thank you sign. Very simple. Thank you.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think that's all that stuck.
Apple is a double fist on the cheek rub.
Oh, I like that. That's a fun word.
Our daughter used to eat a lot of
You
apples.
want some apples? I
Yeah.
like that. That's
So,
creative.
More apples.
More apple,
Yeah.
more Wawa,
Right.
more bottle. Right. You
Right.
got to teach them the sign language early on in life, man.
Yeah, my wife has a cousin, and it's kind of because of the age gap between her dad and his sister.
Mm-hmm.
The cousin is like a little kid almost.
Younger cousin.
It is a couple years ago. She's
Feels almost more like a niece.
yeah,
probably.
more of a niece
Yeah.
in terms of age and gap. But
I got that with a cousin that's more like an uncle.
Oh, really?
I got a cousin who's in his 60s.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
cousin that's like 15 years older than me.
Yeah, and we're going
I
like
got two
30
cousins.
plus, I think.
Yeah.
Which is, it's weird. It feels more like an uncle, but technically a cousin. That's the way it shook out.
Well, she's like partially deaf to the point where like she has to know sign language.
Needs to know sign language.
And we watched her a couple times, and I was like, I'm going to learn sign language.
I'm going to do that.
I haven't seen her in years.
It's been a long
It's been
time.
like 2 years.
So there's no need to really
Sign language
you know.
thing. I actually learned the alphabet. I
Did
had
you
the
really?
alphabet.
You had the
I
alphabet
did.
down?
I had it.
That's impressive.
But if you stop doing it,
then you're done.
you lose it.
Yeah, it's like learning a new language. What's
Yeah.
more? Is it more challenging to learn sign language or a new language?
Well, sign language is a language.
Well, I know. I'm saying but to like speak something like is it
I don't
more
know,
difficult or are
'cause-
they equally the same?
Do you like that, Brandon?
That was
What's more difficult, sign language or another
Or like
language?
learning a hand signal for each word or learning the word for each word in a different language. What's
don't
more
know.
are they equally as difficult?
Well, my daughter just said the other day she's going to learn 7 languages, and I'm like,
Seven? What's she at right now?
1.
Okay, we got 6 to go.
And the way she's learning Vietnamese, to me, I don't think is a way you can actually learn a language.
It's not going to stick. You don't think it'll hold?
Well, I said that yesterday at home. That did not land well with the wife or her. I'm like, I don't think finding out how to say counter is going to actually get you to learn how to speak the language.
You need a little more sophistication than that,
Well-
a little more tutoring, if you will.
My wife and her sisters come from a house that just speaks largely in the house Vietnamese.
Right.
They themselves are not very
Fluent in it
they can understand it.
Yes.
They can communicate it,
in certain ways.
but there's a limit to it.
yeah, you're
is
not
what I
having
would
like
say.
a long form conversation, being able to communicate
Well,
everything that you want to communicate, I would imagine.
They can talk to their parents for like an hour straight.
Mm.
It's like the little subtlety things, I guess, is what I'm trying to explain. Of like,
Yeah.
they're not perfect with it.
Right.
And now, how has that been passed down to 3 different families of
Right.
kids?
It's already like a watered down version at their generation level, and
Yes.
usually if it waters down even more than that, you're learning 48% of a language.
Like, my kids understand basic commands, like go brush your teeth,
Yeah,
turn the light off,
simple things.
get
Yeah.
milk.
Kind of to our hand signal or our
little
sign
bit.
language. It's
Yeah.
very, I got some basics here, but that's about
Right.
all I got.
My other niece and nephew, I don't think know any of it. And then my other niece and nephew, I mean, one of them kind of gets some of it, but she can't speak it. And the other one's just like, what's up, man? He doesn't know any of it.
Nothing.
So it's like 3 girls coming from a Vietnamese family, and none of the kids
Yeah.
know Vietnamese.
Sure.
I've always felt that, like, when you read about people that move to countries and they learn the language.
Usually helps when you're immersed in the culture day in and day out.
It's just because every day people are communicating in full sentences,
Right.
and you don't know where you're at the beginning of that.
No, you don't have the option, though, to not learn it because you're immersed in the culture. And you got it in order to operate day to
Right.
day, you got to learn the language.
Whereas, like, I just don't know what's the effective way of teaching a language. Is it to tell you how to say cup? I don't know if that's
Word by word by word.
really the way to do it.
Yeah, and will you remember each word or how many of them will go in one ear and out the other?
Dude, I did this in Spanish for
Yeah.
8 years, and I got good grades. I would pay attention, and I don't know Spanish. So I don't know if those are the right ways to learn or if that's just my learning disability.
No, if you put me, like, you drop me down somewhere in the middle of Mexico right now and you ask me to walk around and communicate my way through town after 8 years of Spanish, there's no way it's happening.
Yeah.
No chance in hell.
Now, if I put you there for a calendar year,
For a calendar
do you
year,
think you could pick up on what they're saying versus,
No.
like, do you think you could communicate?
I would have to be in some form of educational process as well.
Oh, really?
Like if I'm living in Mexico and also learning Spanish
Yeah.
and speaking it day in and day out, that would give me the accelerator program.
Yeah.
But if you're not teaching me on top of it, no, it's not going to come back.
I don't know how the movie's aged for people, but one of the comedies that it's not great. It's not his best movie. I always enjoyed the remake of Fun with Dick and Jane.
Yes.
And when Jim Carrey is down and he's poor and he's lost all his work, and when he gets off the work truck,
Right.
he's speaking full
Fluent Spanish as he's
Fluent
saying goodbye to his
Spanish.
coworkers for the day.
And he gets in his car with his wife and he starts speaking in Spanish. She doesn't know what he's saying.
What the hell is going on? What's the matter with you here?
I always wondered, like, is that the way I could? Is that like I have to? Is that how I learn? I just gotta speak the language, I guess.
Laying some bark dust today, and I happen to learn a new language. There's two things I feel like as I've gotten older that I regret not taking more seriously when I was younger. And I'm sure this is probably the case with every generation. That, like, the next one comes and they do the same exact thing, and then they get older and they're like, damn, I wish I would have taken that more seriously. Like, legitimately learning the language and having it stick, I regret not doing that.
It'd be really cool to, like, really know a second language.
Yes, and like
Yeah.
the amount of schooling that I took to learn Spanish, I should know Spanish, but that's certainly not the case.
You should be passively like
Right.
okay in Spanish.
I should have a base level knowledge
Right.
of the language to this point in my life, and that does not happen. And then the instrument thing. Like I played the piano when I was young. Could not wait to stop playing the
You
piano.
hated it, didn't you?
Hated it.
Yeah.
With the recitals, with just practicing, I couldn't stand it.
Yep.
So the first chance I get, I quit piano. Like the first opportunity my parents gave me of like, do you still want to do this? Nope, I'm out. And now I look back, I'm like, dude, that would have been like I played the trombone in band. I don't get any use out of playing the trombone at this point in my life. Like I'm not gonna walk around the house, paint your green plants, your blue or whatever, and play that. That's not gonna happen. Takes up too much space. But being able to like bust out a keyboard and play a song would be really cool.
Well, I golf. One of my best friends I golf with, like, I've always kind of wondered if we just went the whole round and he spoke nothing but Spanish to me.
How much would you pick up by the end of the round?
How much would I have no idea versus
Yeah.
like saying some things and I'm like,
Oh.
all right, is he telling me that I've left the door open for this birdie putt? Did I hear that? Did I hear door?
Did I hear door in there? Was there a door in there?
I don't think I'd pick it up. I don't think it would make me learn and understand it any better, but I've always kind of wondered if I played a full 18 holes and he did nothing but speak Spanish to me.
How much of it could you retain and understand?
Well, how much of any of it would
Yeah.
I know versus like if he just kept doing it, would I eventually be speaking Spanish with him in a round of
Right.
golf?
You're on the 17th hole. Hola.
Well, I mean, besides hola and
Sure.
gracias.
I mean, that's all I got. But you
Right.
get the gist. You know what I'm trying. He would get done with the round and be like, dude, I was trying to give you all those 2-footers. I kept saying that's good. But
Yeah,
you,
what's gimme in Spanish?
why'd you keep putting all those out, man?
You kept saying break left, but
Yeah.
you kept putting it to the right.
Yeah. You didn't have the right word in there, dude.
I'll look up what gimme in Spanish would be.
You got to know that one just in case. You could drop that on the 4th hole. He's got a 2.5 footer, and you're like, you know what? I'm feeling generous right now, buddy. That's a gimme. You're good. Why don't you go scoop that thing up?
I feel like Google Translation, and I know this because of college, is absolutely the worst translating machine you can use.
Yes, I don't know if it's gotten better since my time in college, but I used a lot of it to survive Spanish classes over the years. And yeah, didn't really ever feel like it gave me the answers that were necessary to get the grades I needed on tests.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Second language would be really cool, but my daughter's after trying to learn seven,
So-
including Latin. I'm like, it's a...
Latin? What's the use of
She
Latin?
didn't name Spanish. I'm like, why would you not name the second most
Yeah.
popular language in our country.
Spanish
It's
is the
supposed
one.
to be the easiest one, is what they say, right?
Well, also too, like when you think of where the future of where the United States of America is going, and where we may or may not be 50 years from now, that might not be the case anymore.
What United States are you currently living in? Because I don't know if Spanish is on that bingo
But
card.
like, there's still times where you'll be watching a game on TV and a Spanish commercial will come on television.
Oh, I know, I
that
love
happens all the time. I have no issue with it. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what they're saying right now. This is interesting. But like that, you can get more use out of that in our country down the road in your life than you can, I would imagine, any other language.
I can't remember what sporting event it was, but not too long ago, I turned my YouTube TV on, and for some reason, like the default channel of the sporting event, it was the Spanish
Somebody hit that
broadcast.
old SAP button. If you want Spanish for this thing, just press SAP.
I thought about leaving it for like a minute and a half. I'm like, what if I just left it?
Hola, amigos.
Well, like if I watched a telenovela and I just watched like Javier
yeah.
trying to steal whoever, like, are these the ways for me to learn? Because class and the schooling of it actually didn't help me.
No.
I don't know Spanish. And I
No.
took Spanish twice in middle school, 3 times in high school, and twice in college.
It's a lot. That's from like age
What is that? That's 7 that's 7 school semesters
Right.
of Spanish.
over the span of a decade. That's nearly 10 years of learning
And
Spanish.
I know none of it. I mean, none of it.
I don't like. It's not the worst idea to watch those, but I feel like again, you have to like lay a base layer again first. Like if you laid a base layer again and then started watching those shows, I think it would help.
Well-
but if you just fly in blind and you start watching some telenovela, some drama in the middle of your afternoon, that
It's at least
speak-
an entertaining way to learn it.
I mean, it's not. I'm with you there, but are you gonna have any clue what they're saying? You're not, unless you have like you could put the caption button down to where you can maybe read it in English.
translation in
translation part, maybe that would help. Of like, oh, okay, that's how you say that. But if you're flying blind, you're just not. You're hearing the words, but you got no clue what they mean.
The scenarios of not being able to speak it would be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I also wonder, like, being able to understand it at a minimum.
Like,
Could
that's
I
a good
watch a
spot to get to.
telenovela and get and understand what
Right.
people are saying versus I don't know about communicating
That's
it.
basically knowing the language to me. Like you're not fluent in it, but like if you go to Mexico and you can make your way around town and
Go
understand
to a Saturday market.
and you know what they're saying to you.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna, botch the responses and not be able to clearly communicate what you want. But I'm fully aware of what you're saying. That's a good level. If you can get to that point, that's pretty solid.
Let's have a challenge. Who learns a language first?
Dude, that's not happening.
You're not even going to try?
Not happening, dude. When do I have time to start learning
I don't
language?
know.
I got a 2-year-old I'm chasing around. I got another kid on the way. You think I got time to start taking some classes in the middle of the
Have
day?
you thought about putting Teddy in a language class? Like, that's kind of the cool,
Teach
unique
him at a
thing.
super young age.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice to do. I haven't necessarily thought about it, but it would be good for him to learn a language and have the understanding before they start school.
Well, speaking of Dick and Jane, I think the nanny is speaking Spanish, and
Right.
the kid
The
starts
kids-
only communicating.
yeah, because
in
the nanny's
Spanish.
there every day, and it's like this is the world we live in, man. If I want something from the nanny, I got to know how to say it in Spanish.
Brandon, do you speak a second language?
New. I also I learned Spanish in high school. Just went
Never stuck
over
with
my
you?
head. No.
Yeah.
My church mission, I got called to an English speaking mission, so dodged a bullet there.
Didn't
and
need to
trying
learn a new
another
language
and do it.
I
Speaking
mean,
of-
again, I will say,
Yeah.
learning to understand a Boston accent though might as well be trying to learn a second language.
The Boston accent, huh?
Yeah. I served in the Boston, New England, Connecticut area.
Oh, okay.
So
Did it take a while to pick that up?
A lot of thick accents
yes,
over there.
Yep, a lot of thick accents.
What
that
are you
had to
saying right there?
Are you
understand.
saying park the car?
Park the car. Park the car.
Park the car.
Huh? What
What?
are you trying to say there?
But
Languages.
no, language. Trying not only trying to learn it, but then trying to understand other people speaking it at 10 times faster than you can understand it.
Yes.
It's just like I give up. No,
They
thank
talk
you.
so fast. It's hard. I
the
can't
speed
keep up.
of another language
I can't.
versus, like, could you just go at like a half of that speed?
Hello, my name is Andy.
Right.
What is your name?
I mean, look, it's a goal, but I'm probably not going to accomplish my goal.
Like
Especially when you travel internationally. Like the first time for me, I went to Europe last fall. I just got culture shocked like completely when I went to France, and everyone's just speaking French around me. I'm like, okay.
Now, did you try and learn any part of the language before you went?
I did, and my wife did, and
Okay.
she kind of led the charge as far as talking to other people. I would
Ordering
just be
food
I'd just be
or-
the one hiding behind her, like just whatever she says. Yes, same for me too.
I've always wanted to learn Japanese for that reason. If I go to Japan, to just know what's happening.
That'd be the way to get me to do it. Like if I went to an international country on a like decent site, like if I had the swag vacation book for this summer, I'm going to Italy for a couple weeks. I would try and have some level of understanding.
But what's the language like for me when we went to Vietnam in 2019? I mean, I've been around Vietnamese for
Yes.
15 years.
not yet.
You know, I understand some words,
Right.
but
Could
like
you
I couldn't
order at
learn
a
the
restaurant?
language.
No.
No. Are you kidding me?
I'm just asking. I don't know. I've never tried to learn Vietnamese before. I
To be
imagine
honest
it's
with
not
you,
very
I don't
easy.
even think I know how to say I love you in
You
Vietnamese.
can't say I love you.
No,
That's a nice one to drop to the
It's
wife.
random words like milk. Like, and I pick up on some stuff, and I kind of get the gist of what people say in some ways. But when we went there, I wasn't going to be able to learn the language.
No. Did you try and make any effort before you went?
No.
No.
Because
Yeah.
the thing about that
Well,
language,
it's also different in that scenario too. Because
I had a whole family.
you were
of
going
people.
with people
Yeah.
who could communicate. Like
Exactly.
if you went on your own, like just you, the wife, and the kids, like let's go to Vietnam for a month.
Well, I'd still have the wife.
You would still have the wife. That's true.
It would
Yeah.
have to be something like Japan,
Yes, where you're going on a long vacation and you want to be able to communicate.
or as my mother likes to call it, Japan.
she called it Japan.
Yeah, it's a difference in terms of how they pronounce it.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
all right, I'll take your word.
But
for
I
it.
think the it's just some languages, man. Because the thing with that language specifically is like they will say a word, and then you'll repeat what they're saying, and they'll go no,
no, that's not. How
and
you
they'll say it again, and then
you-
you do it again, and you're like,
repeat.
and they say no again. You're like, I'm doing the same sound
how,
as you.
How is this not the same? What
and
am I
then they're
missing
like,
here?
You gotta kind of hold the tongue in the back of your mouth, and I'm like, I'm not hearing that difference. But there's a difference. And it's a very difficult language to learn.
Maybe I'm learning this morning that I need to enroll Teddy in 7 different language classes ASAP.
Just do one.
Because they say that that's the best time to learn. Like if you can
Right
learn
now
it
at his age?
before,
Yes.
when your brain is just a sponge and
Dude, he
it's
should be doing Spanish.
soaking up information every day.
Put him in
Just-
Spanish
I'm
classes.
just gonna put TV shows on every day that are Spanish. Pick it up, buddy. Let's go.
Does Bluey air in Spanish?
I'm sure you could change the language on it.
I mean, talk about a way to learn.
Hola!
Right after Dora the Explorer.
Right. Now we're making progress. Now everybody's getting smarter
Yeah,
out
we
there.
are. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's a beautiful hump day,
Hello.
except if you're in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, what happened in Cleveland, Ohio? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not good. Took me a second there.
Yeah, it's
it's
all
early.
right.
You know, I was going to say it's a good Wednesday unless you're Chris Dudley.
You lost to a guy who nicknamed himself Ed No Tax Deal.
You lost to a guy that I didn't even know was running.
You haven't seen those signs?
I had not seen those signs. I had not seen those ads.
the no
Chris
tax
Dudley
guy.
was all over my
Dude.
feed. He was driving hard in my paint.
The amount of Chris Dudley signs in the Happy Valley, Clackamas area.
A lot of them out there.
If you would have told me, guess the results of these 3 names, I would have said, well, she was the candidate last time. I bet you she's pretty high, if
Probably
not the
gonna
winner.
win. Probably gonna win.
A guy nicknaming himself No Tax, named Ed.
Ed,
I'm going to say he's a distant third.
yes. Dudley, competitive
Dudley,
second.
competitive second.
Would have been my
Dude,
guess.
he got obliterated yesterday.
I think he spent too much on advertising in my Twitter feed. Maybe we should have spread that money around a little bit, Chris.
Well, fair question asked by some local scribes. He's been courtside at all the Fire games. Is that still going to continue?
No, he's going to go back to
Is
living
he done
in Vancouver.
talking about women's sports and who plays in them and who doesn't?
Probably. I think Chris Dudley. Is he done? Is that it? Like if you do it
Yeah, it
twice
has
and
to
it
be
doesn't
it.
work,
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
go 3 times.
A
can ya?
decade plus apart,
Yeah.
you gotta be done.
He got over the controversy of not actually living in the state. I think he actually lives in the state.
He finally
now.
moved back
I
to the
believe
state.
he actually lives in the state this time for running for governor, and that's twice in 10 years. You're done, buddy.
Look, we
you
know-
gotta hang him up, Chris. I'm sorry.
Big money rules politics. We're literally watching that happen in our lives. But it's kind of crazy the amount of advertising, algorithm posts, signs. To finish that by doing all of that is
Yeah.
got to be like a real humbling.
Real kick in the nuts.
I mean, you got dunked on Shaq style
You
yesterday
did.
politically.
Then you threw the ball at
They
Drazen.
threw you down after they
Or
dunked
Ed.
on you.
You probably threw the ball at Ed. Like, how did you finish ahead of me? I'm tossing this ball at you.
Everybody thought Ed was a plant for
Ed.
Drazen.
Who the hell is Ed, man?
Is it Drazen or Drazen?
Drazen, I think.
Probably learned that name in
We
case she
probably
ends up
should.
winning.
We probably
I
should.
mean, at this rate, Kotek's pulling it like 10%.
It's not very good.
How'd the
Bob.
gas tax work out for you?
Not very good.
Dude, they
Bob.
called that before 10 o'clock. They were like, well,
this
this
thing's
failed.
over. No
Like
chance on this.
83% of their tallied votes were like, no, not more taxes.
Has anybody filled up their gas tank recently?
Oh, my God.
Because it cost me $109 this weekend. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go no on that one, Bob.
I give you a lot of tax money. Work that out.
That's going to be a big NO for me, Chief. I'm out. Thank you, though, for requesting
I
it.
haven't seen what the official percentage
I think the last
vote
I
was.
saw it was somewhere in the 85 to 15 range.
Oh,
about
man.
as big of a bloodbath as you could get in one of those
And
bigger questions.
And I don't think it, like, that 15%, I got questions.
That's a bipartisan hell no.
Yeah, that was an overwhelming hell no.
We're okay.
We
don't
knew
need
it was
that.
going to be a hell no.
Yes, we did.
All right. Well, we got a lot to get to today. It is a busy program. Not a great day for Cleveland.
No.
And I have a question I want to ask you as we get going. Does everything need this? I will tell you what I'm talking about on the other side. Dirt and Sprague, good to be with you on this Hump Day edition on 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, a great spot for any occasion. And don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on the Fan. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals delivered another playoff classic. The Knicks erased a 22-point deficit with under 8 minutes left to force overtime and eventually stun the Cavaliers 115-104 to take a 1-0 series lead. It's the largest fourth-quarter playoff comeback since 2012. Jalen Brunson led the charge with 38 points. Game 2 back in the Garden tomorrow. Some other NBA news. Jason Kidd is out as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks after 5 seasons, in which the team described as a mutual decision yesterday. Kidd still had 4 years and $40 million remaining on his contract. The Blazers yesterday laid off reportedly over 70 employees from the organization, including roughly a quarter of the team's business staff. It's Tom Dundon's most significant cost-cutting move since buying the team back in March. And in baseball, the Mariners took a 1-run lead into the 9th, only to give up 2 runs and lose to the White Sox 2-1. The rubber match of the series coming up later today at 1:10. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
All right, welcome back in. 6:29 on Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 The Fan. It is a Status Story Wednesday. We'll get to that. We got a lot of Blazer stuff to get to. A dark day in Rip City yesterday. We'll talk about that.
Yes, it was.
An NBA poll that might serve the Blazers well.
Ooh.
And updated odds on the favorite to be the next head coach of your Portland Trail Blazers. 83 to 16.9% on the gas tax. That was the final call. Whoa, that's an overwhelming get out of here.
That's what we call getting dunked on, right? I've been dunked on before. It ain't fun to have it happen. That's getting dunked on right there.
Who got dunked on harder, the gas tax or Dudley?
Ooh.
Because the gas tax was never,
I'd say Dudley.
like a wanted thing.
I'm not surprised in the least that the gas tax got dunked on. That's not shocking.
We had media members like bringing Dudley on podcasts. Like, why should you be the governor? But
Dudley finishing third in his own primary is more getting dunked on than the gas tax that we all knew. I legit, and look, maybe I just didn't follow close. I had never heard of the other guy. I'd never heard of Ed.
I'd only seen his signs.
Sure.
I didn't know anything
I
about
assumed
it.
Drazen was going to win. I'd never heard of Ed. Him finishing in third was shocking because of the amount of ads I saw for him. The gas tax, like, dude, who
Nobody
wanted that?
at the start of it?
Who's
it was like,
voting
what?
yes for that? What's the matter with you?
I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
So last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers, from the 7:48 mark into the end of the overtime, got outscored 44-11.
I think James Harden gave up 43 of those 44 points.
Well, we
That's
have
according
audio.
to my
We'll
crack
get to that.
research. That's what my stats tell me. James Harden, 43 of 44.
Well, the thing about that game was not an awful start, kind of a low-scoring first quarter, and then for about 2 quarters, that game sucked.
Yes, it did. It looked like it was going to be a runaway freight train.
And here you go, Cleveland. Look at Cleveland
Oh, my
coming
God.
back in game 1, and they're ready to go. And do we have a series? Is my bet going to cash? What the hell's happening?
Dude, I live bet the Cavs. They were down by 10 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Nobody could make a shot. What was the score at the end of the first? 23-16?
23-16.
Like, it was ugly.
They were like 2 of 18.
They couldn't do
from
anything.
3.
New York couldn't do anything. And I'm like, you know what? This feels like a funky kind of game the Cavs are going to win. New York's not running away with this, and I live bet Cavs money line.
That's tough.
Payout was nice and juicy, and that was mentally cashed at the end of the third quarter.
So then it just becomes a blowout, and then the fourth quarter is crazy Knicks run. And they close the regulation with a tie. They go to overtime. Cleveland doesn't get the game-winning shot. Merrill's shot. It's the closest Mike Breen, I think, has ever been to a bang without banging.
He banged and then had to backtrack the bang.
Bang! He missed it.
I think it went
Yeah,
in
like
and
a
out.
little B sound.
Bang
there.
in and out. How did that not go down? I don't know.
Crazy.
That's one of those, and New York, was it a couple of possessions before where they hit one of the, not to the level of Halliburton, but they had one of those threes that like gave a bounce, and like,
the Landry
what?
Shamet
How did that
three.
go down? timeout.
Yeah.
And then you see the Cleveland one at the end. No timeout. Let them play. The irony of that in that moment, I thought to myself, I don't know where the rest of the series goes, but knowing Cleveland's history sans LeBron, if he makes that shot, like that's a moment Cavs fans remember forever. That's game one of the
Even
Eastern.
if they lose the series?
Even if they do. Like, I
Really?
think you do. Like, we remember game winners from the first round. Like, I know Cleveland's
Well,
got
we won
the LeBron.
those first rounds.
I
That's
know
why
we did.
remember
but
them.
how often does your team have a game winner in a playoff series? Like,
Well,
it just
especially the conference finals.
conference
on
finals
the road,
on the
in
road,
the
game
Garden.
one, Madison Square Garden. Like
Yeah.
that guy, you're remembering that name and that shot, whether you win or lose the series forever. And instead, it's a footnote because it went in and out.
Like, sans Cleveland winning the championship this year, which I don't think anybody would gamble on,
No.
you could make an argument. If Merrill hits that shot, he never has a better moment the rest of his life.
No, that's probably the peak.
The game-winning shot on the road but in the Garden
Yes.
is a dream that every kid that's ever picked up a basketball has had.
That's not game 38 of the regular
No.
season. That's game one of the Eastern Conference Finals.
I can't tell you
and you
how
had a shot
many
halfway down.
end of the game scenarios I used to play on my Nerf hoop in the living room where I hit the 3.
2, 1.
Guess where I was? I was always in Madison Square Garden.
You're damn right you were.
I was always shushing Spike Lee up.
You're sticking it to Stephon Marbury. That's what you're doing.
Timothée Chalamet, sit your little ass down.
Where's Kylie at, Timothée? Huh?
Yeah, get out of here, Ewing. But it didn't go down. They lose in overtime. Jalen Brunson is awesome in the closing. Mikal Bridges has been largely terrible in these playoffs. He had a couple huge shots in this thing.
Yes, he did.
And despite Karl Anthony Towns playing like a moron, the New York Knicks were able to come back from a big deficit and bludgeon the Cavs in the fourth quarter at overtime. And I want to ask you, because everybody's mad at Kenny Atkinson. He didn't call any timeouts.
Call your timeouts, Kenny. What are you doing? He likes to hold them. He's going to use them this morning.
He kind of doubled
Before
down.
shoot-around.
He was like, meh,
Guys are going to be a little dragging
trust
today.
my guys.
They're gonna
It's
be-
like, okay.
Be tired. He's going to call a timeout halfway through shoot-around this morning.
Well, I want to ask you this. So I was listening a little because I do enjoy the morning show in Cleveland. I think Ken Carman and Anthony Lima are very talented. They're very fun. They're very serious, but also, they make fun of themselves.
Were they screaming this morning?
Well, yeah, they were screaming
Yeah.
at each other a little bit of like, whose fault is this and what is this? The thing I enjoyed that kind of led me to ask this question is they were getting a bunch. They take calls over in Cleveland, Ohio, because people got to go, hey, this is what I want to say. And so they get all these calls and these takes. And the conclusion is that everybody is naming the game. And they're calling it the choke. Because I guess Barkley in the postgame was like, that was a choke. Calling the Cleveland Cavaliers out, Kenny Atkinson. And so now everybody in Cleveland wants to call it the choke. The radio host in Cleveland is like, dude, the series isn't over. The drive, the fumble, the shot by Jordan.
Yes.
These were ending our seasons.
Yeah, the elimination game of your year.
And maybe you end up getting swept by the Knicks. Maybe you lose in 5. It's never close and you don't recover from it. But his argument was you can't nickname something if it doesn't end something. And so I wanted to ask you, do you abide by this idea that, like, because people want to nickname everything.
They do. We got to have
do
one
this.
for everything.
We
Yes.
do it on the show all the time.
Yes.
Tommy Two Nickels.
We got to talk about Tommy Two Nickels
Baby
today.
Kobe.
Yep.
We give ridiculous,
Baby
dumb
Kobe.
nicknames all the time. That's going to be a Rip City Legend nickname, by the
That
way.
will. We'll remember that one forever.
That's going to be at a thrift store rack.
when
hanging
Shaden Sharp's
somewhere.
wearing a Brooklyn Nets jersey next year. He'll always be Baby Kobe to me.
But, like, do you abide by you're okay naming every big moment, or do you agree that you can't nickname
I love the idea.
after just game one?
I love the idea that in heartbreak, that's where your mind goes. How do we name this? That's a demoralizing loss. You blew, what was it, 22? Was that the ultimate
it was
final that they lose? 22-point lead.
7:52 left.
In the fourth quarter, they got outscored like 40-10 or whatever. Like just
Crazy.
insanity how bad they were down the stretch. And your first thought was, let's come up with a cool name for that. Let's remember that one for life. Now, here's what I will say.
yeah.
I agree with the overall take from our guy Ken Carman. I think that the idea of naming something, you got to know the outcome before it gets a name. Because if they go on to win the series, you just, remember that? That was kind of dumb. We lost game one, but at least we won the series. You're not going to remember the choke job that happened there last night, because it certainly was that. The only thing that I would push back against him is the idea that the series is not over. Now, maybe this ages terribly, and you can come up with a nickname for how bad this take is. That was the series. That was you had an opportunity to steal a game on the road. You had the lead. James Harden did literally nothing all night, and you had a 22-point fourth quarter lead. How many times would that happen throughout the course of this series? You know what the Knicks were shooting? I took a glance at the box score. I want to say it was right before they went on their run in the fourth, because I'm like, I was in and out. I'm watching the game, and every time I peek back in, the lead gets a little bit bigger, and I'm like, man, how is New York not have more? Like, what's going on? They were at one point early in the fourth before they started their run. They were 4 of 25 from 3. 4 of 20. They had made 4 3-pointers in the game as a team halfway through the fourth quarter. Like, to not win that game and to capitalize on that moment, that's a backbreaker if I've ever seen it.
So let me ask you then, because I hear what you're saying. I think a lot of people think
Like,
the
I already
series is
thought
over
the
now.
Knicks were going to win the
Right.
series, and even if they would have lost last night, I
You
still
still
would have
would've
had the
picked
Knicks
the
win.
Knicks. I know.
Now you lose that game?
But we didn't. Did we nickname the Halliburton bounce shot? Because
No.
that was game one, and they had double-digit comeback on the road, and they ended up winning the series.
Did we name any of our 3 double-digit point-blown leads against the Warriors in the conference finals?
Uh,
We did technically have the Myers-Leonard game. That kind of got named. Was that game 4, game 3?
I mean, the Myers-Leonard moment, I don't know if I'd call it the game. They
It's
lost
the game. It's the game, baby.
You can't have the game if you lost the game.
Believe. What was his thing? Blessed. That's what
Blessed.
he did.
Yeah,
Blessed.
you have the shorts.
You're damn right I do.
No, but I'm just asking, like, if we didn't name Halliburton and they ended up winning the series after a crazy game one comeback and a crazy shot.
Naming things is kind of dumb. You don't need to do it.
I'm okay naming it in a moment of elimination. I do think we rush to name stuff too much.
Right.
But I think I agree with Kid Carmen. You cannot name.
But they're not technically eliminated. They're
No.
going to play again on Thursday.
What if they win game 2?
They're going to play Thursday night at
Then
the
how
Garden.
stupid do you look at? Well, remember game 1 the choke in the history of Cleveland sports? And he basically was like, you guys just love to be miserable. All you want to do is have the most negative nicknames for stuff because we've lost on big stages before.
I mean, you live in Cleveland. I don't blame them. Not a lot of sunshine and rainbows.
No, but they act like they haven't had success in Cleveland. Most of those people are Ohio State fans. That's
true.
the lifeblood of their state and their being. And
That
the
is true.
Cavs won in 2016.
They had LeBron James. That helps. I would gladly take LeBron James for all the other ineptitudes that your other organizations have.
Well, and it's gonna mean a whole hell of a lot when they finally win the World Series and get back because they're led by the Cleveland Beavs.
That they are.
Quan Bazana.
That's what we're calling them now.
They had a bunch of
Oregon
RBIs
State
last night.
Central. That's what we're calling them.
State Central, yeah.
Middle
you're damn
America,
right.
Oregon State.
Dude, if you don't think we're going to try to pull some funding out of that success.
Hey, let's go. Pony up. Pony up to our program.
So we agree on that? We can't nickname...
I think nicknames are way overused in modern sports analogies. I think it's dumb. That game doesn't. It was game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, but it was an epic choke. Like, how do you lose that game? How is that possible?
I don't know. That
Call
was
a timeout. Sub out James Harden. What are we doing?
A little non-nickname conversation of who to blame, and we have audio on it. We'll get to that coming up next on 105.1 The Fan. Well, Big Game James had a tough game.
That was, look, there's a mixed emotion for me last night because there's something funny about seeing the Bing Bong Nick fans kind of depressed, like their emotional lash outs after losses.
Dude, that building was a morgue.
You could hear a pin drop. Nobody was cheering. There was nothing to cheer for. They're getting smoked on their home floor, and then the crowd at the end, you're like, yeah, this is awesome. They got into it. So there's this mixed bag of like that would have been kind of funny to see the exit interviews of fans walking out of the arena, ranting and raving about whatever they would have been ranting and raving about for losing the game. But the other side of that coin is watching James Harden do that on the biggest stage was rather delightful.
Yeah, I got a couple Knicks friends in my lives, and one of them texted me this morning, full disclosure, turned the game off when they were down 22. Did not want my kids to see me as a sports fan.
Now, did he not turn it back on?
He checked it back in on the app with about 3 minutes. He saw they were down 5. He turned it back on.
Yeah. Then you worry about being stitious. Did they go on a run because you weren't watching?
Well, I don't think he hesitated. He turned it right back on.
It's
and
the right
think
call.
At that point, you're like, well, they're on a huge run. I can't screw this up. I'm not in New York.
Right.
But I had a couple questions. We'll get to some audio here because James Harden is getting a lot of the blame. So Kenny Atkinson's getting the majority of the blame from Cavs fans of like, why didn't you call a timeout?
Just sub James Harden out of the game, too.
Well,
like, take him out. He's unplayable.
It's
Late
a
in the game,
really odd thing because a lot of those guys, I think, like and respect James Harden. And what we see from the outside is so much easier to say that stuff than being involved in it. Like, if you were struggling in any way on the show, I wouldn't even know how to address that with you. I think I'd just deal with it.
I'm just having bad show after bad show.
He can't say R's.
In the fourth hour.
He can't say the letter R anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I know. We just kind of write the show away from the letter R.
Just try not to use words with the letter R in it. I'm screwed.
He's signing half the show because he's deaf. And he can't talk correctly anymore.
YouTube audience is getting
We're
it.
on YouTube, though,
They're picking up what I'm putting down. Fourth hour of every show, I just crumble. I can't handle it. First 3 hours, I'm fine. Hour number 4, I can't talk.
I have a question quickly, and we'll get to the audio part of this. Like, let's put the coaching and the timeout stuff aside, because I don't know if a timeout stops what was happening there, okay? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I just don't understand. Mitchell was rolling in this game.
Yeah.
And then he just, I don't know, like it felt like he kind of just went to the back burner a little bit. Now, he missed a couple shots.
He did. Both him and Harden were really bad shooting the ball late in the game.
But I just didn't like, you know what I don't like about this Cavs team? I really don't like the Mitchell deferring to Harden thing. And I like, again, that's a league MVP. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. You don't have to like him. You can root against him. You can talk about how much of a choker he is. All that is very fair. I just don't understand how in year 17, the better player is giving him the ball and then just like venturing out to the wing or the corner. And I'm like,
this is a LeBron James thing of like, you got to know your role. Like, you shouldn't be the primary guy. Donovan Mitchell is the primary guy.
And I think Harden for the most part yesterday was okay being that because Mitchell was the primary guy. Mm-hmm. It's more like I'm asking this. I don't need the best player to force the game-winning shot every time. I don't live in that world. I defended LeBron years ago on it.
Yeah.
If you get a great shot, take it. If you get a wide-open shot, like, get that look.
That's an NBA player taking a wide-open shot.
Yes.
I can live and die with that. And the Cavs and Harden made the right play on the last possession of the game.
He did.
He got doubled. He passed. They got an open look for 3.
But I hated that Mitchell
didn't touch the ball.
Well, he did. He just gave it to Harden and walked away. And
then
he let Harden operate, and then they did the pick with Merrill, and Merrill missed. But
right.
I don't get that. That's what I don't get. Donovan Mitchell is going to be a first-team All-NBA guy this year. You know what that means, Dirt? It means he's one of the 5 best players in the entire association this year.
Yeah.
And you're sitting here deferring to 17-year vet James Harden, who's getting cooked and not having the greatest playoff and or game. I didn't like that. If I was a Cavs fan today, that's where I'd be sitting of like, Brunson's awesome.
He killed you.
Bridges, OG were awesome. Their defense was suffocating. How about Landry Shamet off the bench hitting some threes?
Could not miss late.
The other side of that is like Donovan Mitchell, just keep the ball. You're one of the best, shiftiest one-on-one players in the league.
It's a tie game. You just need a bucket, get a foul, do something.
I hated that. I was watching that. I hated it. I'm not mad at Merrill shooting the shot. You were open. It almost goes in. But
no, that's the right look.
The Mitchell just give the ball up and run away from the play. I just didn't like that whatsoever.
I think the reality is, like, you can always try and pinpoint something, and they collapse to that level. And that's one of the biggest collapses we've ever seen in the history of the NBA. Since 1996-1997, the New York Knicks were 0-206 277 when trailing by 22 points in the fourth quarter over a regular season or playoff game.
I love it's a Knicks adjacent.
And 277.
Yeah.
They literally
never
since
done that.
96-97, when I was 7 years old, they have not won a game doing that. And last night was the first one in the last 30 years. So that's an all-time choke job on the road. It's always a collection, though. Like, call a damn timeout. Your team is letting the lead slowly bleed away. The crowd is getting more involved in the game.
He finished regulation with 2, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And even on the last possession, which the last possession one didn't bother me a ton. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, let them go play and don't let them set up their defense. I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, same.
But it's just like throughout the course of the run, and then to say after the game, I wanted to hold on to my timeouts, like, you just look like an idiot.
But you held on to him. You
Right.
didn't use him.
You didn't use him. Donovan Mitchell, with you 100%. Like, he was not great down the stretch. He had a really good game before that.
Yep.
Like, that's your spot. That's that. You got to have the ball in your hands. Now, if you're the one that's passing because you get double teamed, I'm not going to criticize you for it. But the offense should run through you on the last possession.
Yep.
And this also highlights just I don't know what the right word would be for James Harden, but like the hypocrisy of his career. Of like, we know he is one of the all-time great offensive players. Nobody doubts that. Nobody debates that. He is one of the worst defenders in the history of the NBA. And the New York Knicks, in the last however many, like the numbers on it are insane. They switched him into isolations in the fourth quarter and overtime.
The whole fourth was just switching on to Harden ISOs.
9 straight possessions. They got an obscene 1.9 points per direct action against him.
Yep.
He was the screener defender on 21 on-ball picks in the fourth quarter and overtime. The Knicks on those 21 picks got 1.6 points per direct action on those plays. And so that's getting a little analytical, but essentially, let's get James Harden on fill in the blank, usually Brunson, and guess what's going to happen? He's going to get cooked. And there comes a breaking point when you're not doing anything offensively, which he was horrible last night. He had more turnovers than he did field goals. He didn't have any impact on that end of the floor.
Dude, he had a bad air ball in the middle of that run, too.
One of the moments in his career, his team had a comeback when he was sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
like,
the Clipper,
you have to sit
Rocket
him
game.
down late in the game. You have the lead. You need defensive stops, and he can't help you in any way on that end of the floor.
I'd almost rather see Jordan Tyson come out there.
I don't
and
care
play.
who it is.
Yeah, I don't either. Before I get to the audio of this, too, final, X's and O's kind of thing, I just kept thinking, if I'm on the sidelines here, and
Coach
I
Sprague
just watched Brunson pick up a 5th foul on an offensive foul, why are we not instantly putting him in pick actions to get him
Directly
involved and get him as the primary defender?
Get him against Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell going downhill against him.
What are we doing?
Every possession
they just
left.
They let him sit in the middle, in the corner. They just let him stand in the corner, and they went away from it. I just what are you doing here? Speaking of James Harden, here is Donovan Mitchell saying, well, this is not James Harden's fault. This is an us fault.
This isn't on him. It's on all of us, right? This isn't just because of a certain stretch. No. We still have opportunities on the other end as well to take advantage and score, and we didn't. So it's not just on one person. And when he's been around the league long enough, he understands it's 17 years, right? But in the same token, hey, it happened, and we'll respond for game 2.
It's not just James Harden's fault. Hey, Mike Brown, what was your entire MO in the fourth quarter and overtime?
We have to try to figure out different ways to guard Harden and Mitchell. They got to figure out different ways to guard Jalen. But there's no secret we were attacking Harden.
That's all they're going to do.
It's literally the whole point. The
Late
whole
in the
plan.
game.
What are you doing? We're going after Harden.
I don't know basketball at all at a high level. Could I
Sure.
coach? No. Could I draw plays? Absolutely not. I'm capable of telling you what should your offensive philosophy be late in the game. Find a way to make him the primary defender and go at him every possession.
Well, that's
Because
what they're gonna do.
You know what you're going to do? You're going to score every time. Or somebody's going to have to help because he's going to get beat off the dribble because he can't play defense to save his life, and it's going to create an open look for somebody else.
What ended up being a bit of a dud game ended up closing as a spectacular finish.
It's a perfect summation of James Harden's career.
Yeah, I agree with that. We have a lot to get to in the second hour of the radio program. Tough day in Rip City yesterday.
Yes, it was.
We must talk about that, the big layoffs that happened. We'll give you an update on how players view Portland in a poll and who are the coaching favorites. We have a loaded hour number 2 on a stat and story hump day edition, Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan.
a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Reynolds Defense Firm. If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys that you can put your trust into. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today, online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on The Fan, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals delivered another playoff classic. The Knicks erased a 22-point deficit with under 8 minutes left to force overtime and eventually stun the Cavaliers 115-104 to take a 1-0 series lead. It's the largest fourth-quarter playoff comeback since 2012. Jalen Brunson led the charge with 38 points. Game 2 back in the Garden tomorrow. Some other NBA news. Jason Kidd is out as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks after 5 seasons in what the team described as a mutual decision yesterday. Kidd still had 4 years and $40 million remaining on his contract. The Blazers yesterday laid off reportedly over 70 employees from the organization, including roughly a quarter of the team's business staff. It's Tom Dunn's most significant cost-cutting move since buying the team back in March. And in baseball, the Mariners took a 1-run lead into the ninth, only to give up 2 runs and lose to the White Sox 2-1. The rubber match of the series coming up later today at 1:10. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 2. Dirt and Sprague here on 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Hope your Wednesday's off to a great start. I think I had a P1 open the door for me this morning. He was like, had in, because we share a building.
In the building, yeah.
And I showed up a little later than I wanted to, and so I'm kind of running to the door, and I see him get in, and then I realized he was holding the door for me.
You knew you were coming. Here comes the Sprague.
And I was like, hey, thanks a lot. And he goes, have a good show.
Hey.
And then he walked out, walked to the stairs. I was like, all right, thanks, Dan.
Hey, you're an early riser, man. If you're here when we get here, you're up early. So we love you for listening.
We love everybody for listening and hanging out. We have a statter story to get to today and a lot to discuss here with the Trailblazers in hour number 2. I was going to do a read here, but all my sheets are all...
You're fishing through all your reads.
Yeah, a little too many sheets.
We're having some read problems here this week,
well,
man.
Not we, me.
Yeah.
Just me.
Got to get the right paperwork in front of you. With an updated amount that is left, we now know. It's fewer than 5.
Well, we have, we'll let you know on that. We have multiple golf reads for the golf tournament, but I got to throw away the ones without... the older ones.
We keep adding new ones. There's a new sponsor involved. We got numbers that are there. Like, we got to, when we bring a new one in, you got to throw the old one out.
Well, the golf read we're talking about is June 23rd. Toyota presents the Fan Golf Classic out at Langdon Farms. Now, we've told you the afternoon round is sold out, and we'd also like to let you know, officially, we only have 4 foursomes left for the morning round.
Sizzler.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Count them up.
Also, Quattro.
Look at us. They call us bilingual.
They do. We have a lot to offer at the golf tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be hanging out at the infamous Angels Envy Bourbon Par 3 6th hole. So come hang out and say hi to us, and then hit a beautiful tee shot. We saw a hole-in-one there once.
We did. We saw 2 in 1 year.
Well, I didn't see the second one.
Yeah, there was 2. It was 2 years ago, I think. There was 2 in the
Yeah.
same day, which there had never been one, I think, on that hole in the entirety of the golf tournament, and then we had 2 in 1 day.
You might be wondering, damn, I'm going to get so hungry, though, Sprague. What can I eat? Good question. I got a great answer for you. Matt's Barbecue.
Delicious.
That's all you need to know. Matt's Barbecue. They'll be on hand catering the event. Looking forward to that one.
Melts in your mouth.
Head to 1051thefan.com and click on the Fan Golf Classic logo. Fan Golf Classic presented by Toyota is also brought to you by Vulcan Design and Construction, Henderson and Daughter Windows and Doors, George McCoy at Warren Allen, Attorneys at Law, Battery Exchange, Maestro Dope Bell Tequila, your neighborhood restaurant group, Philbrook Law, 1-800-DIVORCE, Roto-Rooter, Illegal Mezcal, Pub Beer by 10 Barrel, and Window Nation.
It's one of those days for me that I always think, like, when we get there, like, how is it possible that the Fan Golf Classic is already here?
Flies
the 4th
by.
of July is next week. Like, what? What is that? Football season's almost here.
Let's start just to pass along the local news. By the way, poll question is from the 6 a.m. Who got dunked on harder yesterday, Chris Dudley or the gas tax? You can vote at Dirt and Sprague there. Don't mean to get too political on people, but if you want to get political, you can vote on that one.
I feel like the gas tax was one that was pretty bipartisan of, that's,
Swinging a foul.
Yeah, from the get, that was like that's not going to fly, dude.
I don't care what your affiliation is. Like, nah, man, I'm good. I don't need to pay more on that right now.
And
I'm going to pass on that.
I would say the other made me think that they were legitimately going to win their race, and they were a very distant third. So you can vote at Dirt and Sprague on that one. Very tough day. There's been a lot of Tom Dundon and cheap. What does this mean? Conversations that have happened.
Yes.
Now, this is a biased opinion, but I'm going to give it. For me, I have felt personally, having read, listened, and observed all things, I have felt that we've been pretty neutral fair. We have made fun of his cheapness. Mm-hmm. We've given the guy like 80 nicknames. We joke about him being cheap down the road. I also don't care about T-shirts. And,
right.
like, I don't know. I view it that way, but not everybody will, and that's
fine. There can
fine.
be a balance here of everything that's going on. Of the hotel checkout, it's a freak out. Then you get the other side of it, and you're like, that's not that big of a deal. The T-shirts, we didn't really care.
Yes.
Like some of the two-way player, we didn't know, and then we traveled them for the next game. Like, not everything has been a DEFCON, whatever the highest number is, panic attack for us.
And I think there's been also listeners that are, worried or wondering, and I think there's the other side of that. Listeners are like, I don't care if two-way guys go. That literally doesn't impact the game or me.
No.
Now, you can argue, well, it impacts the other team and the other players and all that stuff. That's fine. But that's just my opinion, and not everybody's going to agree with that sentiment. Yesterday there's not even a debate. Yesterday's a terrible day.
It sucks, dude. It's horrible.
According to Heiken and the Oregonian, over 70 people were laid off. And that number might be higher. It might be 80. I don't know if we have the official number that's been reported.
I don't think anybody will actually know. Well, at some point, maybe we'll find out. But, it's just been speculated of where the number could be.
But sweeping layoffs were announced for the Portland Trailblazers. Dwayne Hankins, the acting president, said, quote, today, as part of our plans to position the organization for the future, made the difficult decision to restructure several areas of business. These changes impacted talented people who have helped shape the Trailblazers over many years. We are deeply grateful for their contributions, their leadership, and the care that they showed every day for our team, our fans, and the Portland community. Our focus now is supporting those affected through the transition and positioning the organization for long-term success. Now, the biggest name, or the name I would say most people knew, was Casey Holdall.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to call friend of the program. We've had him on for years and years.
We used to have a weekly with him back when we were a night show, way back in the day when we were getting our start in the industry.
We did, and he has done an exceptional job covering the team from pre-Blazers to working with the Blazers. 18 years he was with that organization.
And then he covered him the years before that. I mean, you're going all the way back to the Brandon Roy era, basically, before of how long he's been around.
And that's the brutal part of all of this is like...
Sucks.
We know people impacted by this. I had more than just Casey Holdall that I knew impacted by this. I had other people texting me how kind of sloppy it was. I had people that were telling me that there were Zooms that groups of people were on, and it was not made abundantly clear
whether somebody was let go
whether
or not.
They were being laid off, and then it was basically like, we'll follow up with another email, and like the Zoom would end, and everybody on that Zoom would be like, are we still employees? Like they literally didn't know. It wasn't just like, well, thank you for your time. Good luck. It was, hey, there's a lot going on. Have a great day, and we'll get back to you. And it was like mass confusion in groups on Zoom. So
it's about the worst way you could possibly handle the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it any worse than that. Like we
know about this in our business. It's
all the time.
There's not an easier way to do that. We see it all. We'll have people we know. And we'll come in, and it'll be like 3 days, and I'm like, where's so-and-so? And they're like, he got laid off.
Yeah.
And they'd be like,
oh.
What?
Huh?
Oh, okay. Didn't know about that.
Yeah. You can't leave any ambiguity there when you're doing something like that. Like, let's be clear. Let's communicate properly. Let's give the heads up that is necessary, and the way it was handled was incredibly sloppy.
Yeah, so, I mean, and look, this is interesting. So I was reading the Oregonian piece on this from Freeman, and I think it's also Orem. I think they're both on the byline there.
They tag teamed it.
So the layoffs are the most substantial for the Blazers since June 2020 during COVID, when they eliminated roughly 40 jobs.
Yeah, they cut some
and salary reductions.
The team wasn't playing. The league revenues were obviously disappearing, and they fired a bunch of people in the middle of COVID.
One high-ranking team official, so bear that in mind, okay, told the Oregonian that the Blazers were one of the largest organizations in the entire league and an unsustainable reality considering they fetch the league's lowest sponsorship revenue and rank near the bottom in ticket revenue.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of this because of the people laid off. Roughly the vast majority of them were on the business side of
business side, PR side, obviously some in the broadcasting side that we know of, but primarily in the PR and the business side.
So before Tuesdays, Blazers had roughly 215 employees on the business side and 390 employees in total. The majority of the cuts, as we mentioned, were on business. They note this: staff reductions following a sale are not uncommon, though. The scale of Blazers' layoff felt particularly severe last year after Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lowry closed on the sale of the Timberwolves. That franchise laid off roughly 40. I was told off the record that number is incorrect, that it was way more than 40 people.
There's a lot of speculation. It was closer to 100 in Minnesota last year.
So the 40 employees is what we know publicly. And teams are going to tweak numbers. Again, with the 70 here, it was probably higher than 70, I would guess.
Very well could have been.
This also comes in the midst of what's been the conversation around Tom Dundon?
It's cheap.
Cost-cutting.
Tommy Two Nickels.
And so you had this happen yesterday. Just a tough day for a lot of people here in Portland.
Dude, it sucks, man. It was a horrible day because, to your point, when you live in this city and work in this city long enough, you build relationships, you get to know people, and you never want to see anybody lose their job. Casey has always been kind to us. He's come on the show every time, essentially, that we've asked him to over the years. He's always been funny and insightful and given us a behind-the-scenes perspective of traveling with the team from a unique angle. And so to see him lose his job, a guy who, in terms of just like reporters, like there's been a lot of people who have come and gone, and I know he's done it in a little bit of a different capacity working for the team, but like Jason Quick was that, and then Jason Quick kind of left for a little bit and didn't cover the team. Handsome Joe Freeman was that way. He kind of stopped covering the team for a couple years and pivoted, and so one of the few mainstays that we have had in our entire time working in radio of somebody covering the Blazers is Casey Holdall. He's a good friend of the show, and it was devastating to see him lose his job. And I don't know a lot of the other people individually or personally, I should say, that lost their jobs, but it sucks. And I don't know, maybe it's just part of it being numb to it because we've gone through this too many times to count over the last 12 years of, hey, there was a merger and an acquisition. Hey, we have new bosses, and we know cuts are coming. And there's going to be an email at some point, and you're walking around the office doing the show every day just hoping that your name's not going to be on a list or that you're not getting a phone call from somebody in an HR department because, like, Dusty called me for something yesterday, and I'm like, dude, stop. Stop calling me in the middle of the day, for the love of God.
The Dusty 1:30, 2 p.m. calls are like, what's this
Because my mind goes there. We work in radio. My mind goes there every time. And so I don't want to sound numb to it, but it's also a reality in a world that we've lived in for a long time. And while it is simultaneously true that it's devastating and you never want to see people lose their jobs, it's also, you point out the numbers of employees that they had, the payroll that the organization had. Like Dundon pointed this out in the interview he did with Game Over with Kellerman and Rich Paul, where he talked about they spent $100 million more per year, not counting player salaries. Like, we all know player salaries are significantly greater in the NBA than they are in the NHL. That's not counting player salaries. That's just an overall payroll for everybody else and everything else going on inside your organization. And so that's the other part of it from my reaction yesterday of, like, with the Dundon stuff, this blows. But we all kind of knew that this was going to happen. Like, this was... When he got hired, we knew he was going to slash around the edges in the business side and the PR side and in all of those departments. We knew it was going to get cut and the spending and the payroll was going to go down significantly. And it doesn't change the fact that it's devastating, but I also was not surprised by this yesterday because, to your point on Minnesota that people brought up, this happens everywhere you go in sports when somebody buys a team.
Just about. They're getting
especially
their own people
in this
or new
area.
people.
Like, dude, we were owned by a billionaire and then a billionaire's sister who money was no object to them. And so you could say that
wasn't her money.
It wasn't
She
her
would
money.
Just write off. Oh,
what
yeah,
do you need?
Go ahead.
Sure, go ahead. I'll
There you
sign
go.
off on it. And we can debate whether or not that's the kind of ownership you want or you want this kind of ownership. There's pluses and minuses to each side. I will still go back to and reside in the fact of that rich ownership that wrote the blank check got me nothing as a fan. We've done and accomplished nothing in my head. We haven't won a conference finals game since I was 10 years old. And
Yeah.
so I just there's a balancing of both opinions that happens throughout the course of this. I feel devastated and terrible for the people who have been fired. I thought Rob brought up a great point. I was listening to them yesterday. Of all the people that our company has let go and the people that we loved working with that moved on, almost all of them have landed on their feet, found better gigs, moved on to a different thing. Might take you a while, might get uncomfortable for a little bit. Doesn't have to be the end of the world for them. Still does not change the fact that you don't want to see 70 people laid off.
Yeah, certainly like people can move on and find better jobs or better situations that more suit them that they don't even, I guess, realize in the moment. I think the thing on this is like, because I live in a world of understanding the both sides thing. Now, look, the vast majority would probably tell you that all day you want the uber rich person, right? I find it interesting that there's a narrative on that. Like, I'm not disagreeing with the idea. Like, would I want Steve Ballmer to come in here, own the team, and just completely build a new arena in general? And
Yeah, you know what would not be an issue? Needing taxpayer funding for a stadium.
Yes.
Because he paid for it all by himself.
Sign me up all day for that, sir. It's one of the best atmospheres created is what they've created down in L.A. at the, what is it, the Intuit Dome?
Intuit Dome, I believe. Hasn't translated to wins, but that's a pretty cool arena.
Yeah, but like they've stayed in the conversation. Now, right now, they're in a conversation for the wrong reasons and trying to, sneakily pay guys. But there was not. It's hard for me to like hear about how they should have an owner that has the deepest pockets when I'm also hearing people criticize owners with the deepest pockets. Has Ishbia spared no expense in Phoenix?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
I think he has dipped well into his pocket to try to make a winner. How did that go after 1 year?
Not very good.
And then everybody said, "What? I don't want Ishbia."
He's a terrible owner.
So you want the richest owners, but you just don't want the specific type of rich owner.
Right.
I guess what I would say in the world of ownership in sports now, where, dude, I think we're only a handful of years away from having complete Saudi-owned sports franchises because I don't know who else is going to buy these things.
At some point, they're gonna get too expensive.
I guess what was the expectation for anybody? If you didn't even know who Tom Dundon was, I didn't know who Tom Dundon was prior to buying the Blazers and his name popping up.
No.
You could have given me a whole year to guess who owns the Hurricanes without looking. I would have never guessed the name Tom Dundon.
I remembered the controversy over him firing John Forsland. Outside of that, didn't pay a lot of attention to his ownership because it's a team in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Exactly. And I didn't know about that controversy. But like, I don't know in what scenario were you going to get an owner that came in and was just going to do what the Paul Allen and Allen estate had been doing of like, and look, it's great. It's a fantastic thing to have a guy so uber rich who doesn't penny pinch and care that he just writes the check to everybody and doesn't say, "Oh, you guys are the lowest ticket revenue or business sponsorships. No worries. Let's just have the largest staff in the league." That is great. I'm pro that. But if you're also trying to be honest to talk about this, in what world was somebody going to come in and do that?
Right. It just didn't
In what
exist.
scenario?
Right. Outside of Ballmer, it just did not exist.
So, like, yeah. And that guy already owns a team. I don't.
Right. Or Bezos buying your team. But what's he doing with every property that he owns right now?
I hate this part of it. This is the part that truly sucks.
Yes, it's devastating.
Because as you mentioned in our business, like, I have days, and people think this is a ridiculous thing to say, and that's a great thing to hear. I have days where I don't know if my key fob's going to work. I work in radio. I understand it. Like, I get it, what we signed up for. There wasn't a scenario with Dundon in this where I didn't think that was going to happen in some capacity. Now, maybe it was bigger than people thought.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't as big as people thought. I don't think they're done.
No.
If you want to know the truth.
No, there's going to be
which
more.
is scary, and I don't like that.
We don't know what the broadcast situation is going to look like next year. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
There was no scenario, Dirt, where somebody was buying the team and to me was just going to keep doing what Paul Allen had established here. That was not going to exist for me. And I'm not saying that that's right.
Right.
I'm just trying to call this how I see it, man. I'm trying to call balls and strikes here.
Yeah.
You cannot accuse people of just going off of what they read and hear. That's all I can get. And some people will tell me stuff and I'll be wondering, like, why don't you say this publicly?
Sure.
Why don't you report that publicly?
Right.
But you don't because relationships and for whatever the reasons are. So all I can do is call balls and strikes. And when he's cheap and it impacts the team, I'm going to call that strike.
Yep.
But shirts, hotel checkouts when you have big ballroom dinners and lunches where you get to actually hang with the boss.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying he's perfect and great.
Nobody is.
I'm not going to go out of my mind over that information and conclude something that's literally like 5 weeks old. I just don't think that's the way to do this. So
No.
when it impacts the team and as it develops,
Without a doubt.
I did an entire segment when you were out about how I don't want him to touch the radio of this.
Yeah.
The radio in this city specifically, the entire brand has been molded by the radio.
Rip City.
And there's a real possibility he just does the simulcast thing. And I'm going to hate that.
Yep.
And I'm going to call it out. And I did a whole segment on it. So, like, yesterday's a tough day. I also just didn't think it was ever realistic to think somebody was coming in here and was going to say, oh, Paul and the Allen estate just wrote the blank check and never cared. I didn't think that was ever going to be a thing, unfortunately.
No, the tough reality, too, that we have to be honest about is that at the end of the day, ultimately, I am a fan of the team and I want the team to win. And so while a lot of the business stuff matters and you don't want to see people lose their jobs, like we went through this when Mike and Mike got let go. Mike and Mike were legacies in this market. They had been around forever. They were beloved. We had Mike and Mike t-shirts. Mike and Mike were known everywhere they went in this market. They were major celebrities.
Yeah.
They'd been calling games forever. And when they were fired under the previous ownership group, there was immediate backlash. And like, how could you do this? How could you spit on us like this? We love Mike and Mike. What did we all move on from? Like, that's the sad reality.
Well,
like
some people didn't, though, and that's the funny thing.
That's
like some
fine,
people
but
didn't. They
the
missed
vast
it.
majority of people did, and I'm sure there's some out there that are holdouts who still want Mike Rice yelling at officials, and I get it, drinking a cocktail in the third quarter. Like, next year, if you make a move in the offseason, you add a piece, Damian Lillard comes back and plays at a decent level, you get a 6th seed in the Western Conference, and you're in the playoffs next year. Is anybody next April going to be saying, yeah, but why did we fire 70 business staffers? Like, at the end of the day, winning is ultimately what matters the most to me. And that's the part of it that I am having a hard time balancing right now, because you could tell me writing a blank check and having that many employees is great, and I want everybody to keep their jobs. I don't want them to lose it. It also didn't get me anything as a fan. It didn't get me any success on the floor.
That's the separation there of, like...
there's a breaking point here of, like, yeah, it would have been... If we were the Boston Celtics, who had just won an NBA championship, and then they sold immediately afterwards, and a new owner comes in and is like, dude, strip it to parts. We don't want to pay anybody. We're not running this the way that we've been running this. I would be livid, because we've been in the conference finals or NBA finals seemingly every year. We don't have that track record. We haven't won a game in the conference finals since 2000. It's been a minute for us, and so that's the balancing act that I'm trying to have, and I will remain critical whenever it does impact the product on the floor and the desire of players of wanting to be here and all of that. That is fair game for me, but a lot of the other stuff is behind the scenes, and it just doesn't impact the results on and off the floor.
Tough day in Rip City yesterday, and thinking about a lot of people impacted by that. From that to what is the reputation of our Blazers, we'll get to that as we roll on hour number 2, Dirt and Sprague on 105.1 The Fan.
McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals delivered another playoff classic. The Knicks erased a 22-point deficit with under 8 minutes left to force overtime and eventually stun the Cavaliers 115-104 to take a 1-0 series lead. It's the largest fourth-quarter playoff comeback since 2012. Jalen Brunson led the charge with 38 points. Game 2 back in the Garden tomorrow. Some other NBA news. Jason Kidd is out as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks after 5 seasons in what the team described as a mutual decision yesterday. Kidd still had 4 years and $40 million remaining on his contract. The Blazers yesterday laid off reportedly over 70 employees from the organization, including roughly a quarter of the team's business staff. It's Tom Dunnan's most significant cost-cutting move since buying the team back in March. And in baseball, the Mariners took a 1-run lead into the 9th inning, only to give up 2 runs and lose to the White Sox 2-1. The rubber match of the series coming up later today at 1:10. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan.
All right, welcome back in. Jordan Sprague here, rolling on. Status Story Wednesday. Get to that in the final hour of the radio program. A lot to discuss. Poll questions up. We need to figure out our restaurant neighborhood poll question of the day.
Yeah, we don't want that to be governor and gas taxes. We'll find something else for that.
But the poll question we put up from the first hour of conversation, who got dunked on harder yesterday, Chris Dudley or the gas tax? You can vote at Dirt and Sprague. Getting a little political today, post the election
Let's
day.
get spicy, dude. It's election day, man.
Having 2 election days is odd.
You got to have your primary day.
I know, I get it.
You got to have your big primary day.
It's always a little odd.
Yeah, I'm with you.
A lot to get to as we roll on the second hour. The NBA anonymous player polls come out on the NBA standing of franchises.
How they feeling about old Portland, Oregon, USA?
Well, let's start with this. This is from The Athletic.
Can I also just bring up one last quick point, just for anybody who missed it yesterday? So this news obviously going on. I was listening to Primetime a little bit yesterday, and I thought it was interesting to get Sook's thoughts on this. As the only he's the only former pro on the staff, right on the air.
Well, Meringue or Fisher, just depending on what you're talking about being a pro at. Weightlifting or route running, you name it, they're the best.
Joe Fisher dropping "I'm the greatest route runner you've ever seen" yesterday off the air is one of, like, the Meringue Fisher.
No. Be fair here.
Yeah.
So Joe Fish and Danny Meringue are involved in a beef internally.
We have an athletic beef between the two of them.
We think we're setting up a golf round.
I'm going to manhandle this, because this is one of those things we usually say, like, I'm going to find them and to talk to them today about Saturdays on their schedule. Give me a day that works, because I can't, middle of the day won't work for Meringue.
Sure.
So we can do maybe a twilight round, but like a Saturday where they got nothing going on, and I will be there, and anybody else who wants to come follow along can.
Well, I want to film it, and I also want to be there to do commentating from a golf perspective.
Yeah.
So they want to settle some athletic beef. Yesterday, Joe Fisher, who's one of our sales execs / the host of the Saturday show with Rashad, he just unsolicited dropped because I told him Danny wants to beat him in golf, and he kind of went, fine, great, but then I get to piece him up on the football field. And I said, what?
What'd you just say?
And he dropped legitimately, quote, "I'm the best route runner I've ever met. It's the catching part that I struggle with."
Which, who wins in the athletic comp? If you piece him up off the line of scrimmage, but then don't complete the 15-yard dig route,
if you piece him
you
up,
don't win the athletic comp. You
By the
have
way,
to complete the pass.
I love the term piece him up.
Yeah, I got to piece him up.
Got to piece him up. If you piece him up and you dust Danny into the background and you run like a fly route and you drop it, if I'm Danny, I'm doing the buckle down.
Oh, yes.
I'm doing the Jabbar Muhammad
box.
2 thumbs down. Like, I'm acting like I broke that pass up.
I don't care. You didn't make the play. Technically, I win. You have to complete the pass in order to win at the athletic feed. So that's a good point. Other than Joe Fisher and Danny Meringue, Sook is the only other former professional athlete on the staff here. And he was asked, Steven asked him yesterday on the show about, like, hey, you played in the NFL. Does this impact in any way, shape, or form? It's going to lead to the results you're going to give. Like, does this impact player decisions? Does this impact the players and their belief in organizations and anything that goes into that? And he just flat out was like, no, that's ludicrous to argue that it does. The players will say that sucks. They probably had a relationship with a lot of these people who were fired. Casey in particular, who covered the team for a long time.
Yeah.
But the idea as if this will dictate who does or does not re-sign or sign in Portland is just not something that I believe is a reality.
Yeah, the whole thing is just tough, man. I mean, like, go back to when Drew Holiday got traded here. Remember the random report? Was it Mark Spears? I think it was Mark Spears. And he was like, Drew Holiday didn't want to go to Portland.
He does not want to be here.
2 days later in a Sprinter van, who was here?
He was here. And who played the entire year here?
I had somebody tell me recently, Drew's not happy about this new ownership situation. I go, then ask for a trade.
Yeah.
Like,
get out.
I just like athletes and what they tell you and then also how they like react and choose to do things are two different things.
Yes, they are.
And I believe on that point, I think Sukanik made the note that in his career, he played with two organizations, the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Broncos, first class, outstanding organization, top of the notch, top of the line, everything. The Buccaneers literally had weeks where they couldn't pay players and had to delay. Right. One of those teams, while Suk was in the NFL, won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it was not the Denver Broncos. So, like, I'm not saying being cheap is the right way, but we also have an example. How are the Clippers feeling today?
Right.
There's a huge investigation looming over their future. How are the New York Mets doing? Anybody check the standings in the NL East?
They're not doing very good. Bob.
Highest payroll in baseball.
Right.
And they're dead last in our division.
James Dolan was the worst owner in the NBA forever.
So,
now the Knicks are 3 wins away from an NBA Finals and in the conference finals for a second straight year.
I know. That's not keep it up for the billionaire, Sprague. No, I'm just giving you reality, man. The facts are rich guys are great to have, and they can win. You also have examples in sports all over.
We're a prime one of that, man. We had one of the richest people in the world own our team forever, and it did not result in a lot of high-level success.
The Tampa Bay Rays are currently in first place in the AL East.
Yeah.
Are they not?
They are. Not a big payroll there in Tampa.
It's terrible.
Not a big payroll.
Especially when you comp it to Boston and New York. Okay, anyways, I digress.
I digress. What does it say about Portland?
Let's start with this one from Portland. Which arena has the most passionate fans? Did the Moda Center pop up in the voted on arena?
Most passionate fans, I would say we would show up. God, coming off of this year, I felt like we had some decent crowds. So tanking years probably lost it a bit. I would say we were back end of the top 10.
We were tied for 6th.
Oh, okay. Even higher than I gave us.
We were tied. Well, there's a lot of teams tied.
Yeah, probably
we were tied
getting
with
one
the
vote.
Mavericks, the Clippers, the Bucks, the Jazz, and then we were just below the Kings, Sixers, Pacers, Warriors, Cavs, Bulls, behind the Spurs. The Spurs one is egregious. That is a great atmosphere. They've made it like European soccer mixed with electric basketball fan.
You know how it's good to have a great atmosphere? Victor Wembanyama.
Well, speaking of what's great to have a good atmosphere.
Were they there when they were winning 20 games?
I don't think
chanting ole, ole, ole all night?
Were they having fiesta night?
I don't think there was a fiesta night when they won 26 games.
The Thunder are above the Spurs, and then the Knicks, and then number 1 is Boston, who also finished first with most obnoxious fan base in arena. The Blazers did not show up on that.
We're nice, dude. We're
votes.
cordial. We're not heckling you when you're in Portland.
What's the first team on your no trade list?
Ooh, I'm gonna go. I have not seen these results.
This is the category.
Like, get me out of here. Don't you dare do that to me.
Yes. Now I want you to play a game. Okay.
Okay. I'll play a game with you.
Say it in my saw voice.
I want you to play a game. Is there a key located behind my kidney? I just need to dig it out from inside my body.
I want you to give me your top 5 you don't want to play there based on what you think and know about NBA orgs not being a player, but just who you would vote for in the top 5 of I don't want to be traded there.
Okay, I got 2.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to go that team in the East.
I love this game.
Okay, I got 4. I need one more. What's a good 4th one? Who else would I not want to play for? How about... All right, here are my top 5.
I have one that's surprising.
Okay, these are my top 5. Do not trade me there. I'm a max player, okay? I'm a second-team All-NBA point guard. Have you seen me out there? Don't you dare trade me to these markets.
Okay.
Memphis, number 1.
Okay, I don't have Memphis in my top 5.
New Orleans, number 2.
I have New Orleans.
Washington, number 3.
I have Washington.
Sacramento, number 4.
I have Sacramento.
And Atlanta, number 5.
Atlanta.
They don't give a rip about the Hawks in Atlanta. I would love to live in Atlanta, but I want to play as a second-team All-NBA guy. I want to play in front of a passionate fan base and city that's not going to cower to Magic City Wings. Honorable mention to Utah and Orlando.
Oh, Orlando's a sneaky good one.
Utah and Orlando. You know what? What the hell? I'm going to throw Houston in there for.
I've heard Houston sucks.
Dude,
but
I want
I've never
nothing
been.
to do with living in Houston. I'm out on Houston, so those are my honorable mentions.
My top 5 in no order: Sacramento, the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Something about living in New Orleans doesn't seem appealing at all.
I've been to New Orleans. New Orleans is an awesome city.
But isn't it Vegas South? It's a 2-night town. Get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's what you could do it in New Orleans. Like, I think you could live a happy life. You could stay away from Bourbon Street, and there's nice pockets of it. Again, it goes back to like they don't care. They've never cared.
See, part of this isn't about. It's just cities I just don't think I'd want to live in.
Sure, that's a combo for me. Like, Sacramento. No, thank you. I'm good.
I've been to Sacramento. No, I'm good. Sacramento, New Orleans, Wizards. Now that's a combo of DC / the organization.
Yeah, DC's an awesome city. I got no beef with DC. It's mainly the organization sucks. Although the number 1 pick might change things this year.
I think you've convinced me to put Orlando over Utah.
Yeah.
I don't want
like if you're going to live in Florida, you'd rather be in Miami.
Miami's on my top 5.
That you don't want to go to?
Nah.
Yeah, because it's going to be underwater in 10 years?
I just have no interest. It seems awful.
Your oceanfront property will disappear.
It just seems like an awful place to live. I don't do cocaine.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
You know what I mean? Like I want
Be a lot
nothing to do
cooler
with
if you
Miami.
did.
Yeah, well, I don't want anything to do with Miami. I'll tell you, Atlanta be in my top 5. Park Rose Sprague would enjoy Atlanta. For reasons I don't need to get into.
Hey, Sprague, welcome back to Magic City. Get some of that lemon pepper? You got it, man.
Dude, I would have a wave cap and grills in. If I play.
You Paul Wall?
Yeah.
You coming out in Paul Wall
I'll
attire
be Paul
on me?
Wall if I played in Atlanta.
Like a disco ball?
Here are the player polls of the teams they don't want to be traded to. Are you ready?
Yeah, did we show up in the top 5?
We did not. Shocking.
What?
So here it is. Number 1.
Numero uno.
Vast majority. Number 1.
New Orleans?
Maybe LeBron's not wrong. Memphis Grizzlies,
yeah.
come on down.
It's one of the reasons I put them on there. If LeBron's saying of all the cities I don't want to go there, I tend to think that that's an opinion of players.
Number 2 on this poll is the Washington Wizards.
Yep.
Number 3, the Sacramento Kings.
Sounds about right.
Number 4 is the New Orleans Pelicans.
Nailed it almost.
They should be higher. They should not be the 4th. Like, that's egregious. That organization's terrible. The Brooklyn Nets are below them.
God, I kind of forgot about Brooklyn.
I'd love to live in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
that team sucks, but I could live there.
That's the catch-22 for me of DC as well. DC is an awesome town.
Yeah, the organization plays a huge... And I know the Nets are awful, so it's kind of going against what I'm saying. But
sure.
After the Nets, it's the Jazz. Then the Hornets.
Charlotte, really?
Then our Blazers.
Okay, so we're what, 8th on that list?
Technically tied with the Hornets, but we're right below all those other teams, and we're barely above the New York Knicks.
We're not as... Oh.
Barely. Like 4.2% say no to Portland, 3.3% say no to New York.
I think we hang the banner. We're not Sacramento.
We're not Memphis.
We're not Memphis.
We're not New Orleans.
We're not New Orleans. Hang the banner, baby.
And we're not Utah.
No.
There's, 5 teams here in the West.
So we got that going for us.
Which something to note. Nice. We're not on the top list of.
Yeah, I don't know how much I don't know how many players vote on that. Not what the actual reality is.
120 votes.
Okay, 120 votes.
120
so that's a decent
players.
size. It's a decent amount of players across the league. It's just nice to not show up in the top 3.
I agree with
That's the note about Portland is nobody wants to come here. Usually when guys get traded here, they don't want to be here, and then they end up liking it. That's the way our model normally works. So nice that we're not in the top 5.
I got one more thing I want to update you on. We got a lot to get to in the 3rd and the 4th hour on Status Story Edition, but the latest odds on this, tell you what it is next on 105.1 The Fan. We have a lot more to get into. It's been pretty Blazer heavy in this hour. But given what happened yesterday and then paired with the player poll, and then we got coaching stuff to get to, that's how the show breaks. Talked a lot of Cavs-Knicks, the Cavs choking that game away yesterday, and learning a second language. Also, who got dunked on harder, the gas tax of Chris Dudley yesterday.
We get game 2 of the conference finals tonight. That's a nice little palate cleanser.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for it, too. I'm excited to see what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Not.
Tell me who's going to win the game, Sprague.
Who's going to win?
Tell me.
Be wrong?
How many points will Wemby have? If you don't hit it, I'm firing you.
I didn't even get to the NAACP is asking black athletes to not go to certain colleges because of the...
Oh, they're jumping into that fight, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. I did not see that headline
Will
yesterday.
it have an impact? Or will the NIL gods win out?
I think the NIL gods will probably win out.
Tell them Louisiana's still going to get the top players?
I'm telling you, LSU's got some deep pockets down there,
they
man.
do.
Man, that's impactful for an 18-year-old's life.
We have the Jason Kidd news yesterday.
Dude, that came out of left field. Was that expected in NBA circles?
I don't know about left field.
Okay. It was for me because I'm not in that bubble. I'm not sniffing those farts. I'm like, wait, what?
But when they fired Nico and then hired Masai Ujiri, if I told you Jason Kidd wasn't going to be the coach, would you have been like, whoa, I can't believe that? Or you've been like, oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, you know how I feel about NBA coaches. They're kind of a dime a dozen. I'm not trying to diminish any responsibility that they have, but ultimately the talent on the floor is what's most impactful. I guess not shocked by it. I just didn't. He had just signed an extension, didn't he?
Yeah, he's going to get paid $40 million to not coach anymore.
It's a nice little gig if you can get it, man.
Tiago Splitter, by the way, is 8-1 to be the next head coach of the Mavs.
Tiago Splitter,
What are we going to think if Splitter goes to the Mavs and they start dominating because Cooper Flagg is awesome? Are we going to be like, oh, we had this?
No, we'd say, man, it would have been nice to tank harder for Cooper Flagg instead of taking young Hunson.
I went and looked at the games win-loss record the year Wemby was in the draft. Would you care to guess how many wins we had that year?
Too many. And I screamed about it day in and day out.
Yeah, you did.
Every day.
You did, yeah.
Every day.
We had 11 more wins than the Spurs.
11 more. What did we win, 35 that year?
33.
Yeah, we tanked the year before that
For
to get
Shaden Sharp.
Shaden Sharp.
Yeah. They had 22.
They did, yeah.
And they've got an alien, and they're in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals,
They are.
a series in which they're leading.
They're probably going to dominate the Western Conference for 10 years to come.
The Mavericks are interesting in this sense. I'm not telling you this is in any way reporting. Jason Kidd just coached in what city for a handful of years?
Brooklyn? Dallas?
Dallas.
Yeah, he was in Brooklyn though before
Yeah,
then.
he was.
I didn't know if you were giving me a quiz.
No
I will
quiz.
always defend him
It's
for...
an open book test.
This is an open book. I can
America's
look at my notes.
been failing those a lot, but I'm trying to give one to you.
Dude, I was talking about my neighbors the other day. They don't do grades in middle school anymore.
What?
At her middle school, they don't do. It's like a
That's a Portland thing. My kid gets A's, B's, C's, D's.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of
And
an
my
A.
kid gets all A's.
Humble brag.
I never did. Thank God.
I mean, it's essentially the same thing as an ABCD, but it's different. It's like a
Exceptional.
exceptional pass or
Progressing.
good pass or you barely passed.
They do
or
that in
you
elementary
didn't pass.
school.
I'm
They do
what?
like letters and their P's, the
She
M
dropped. I
pluses
got this
and-
and this in a class, and I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Oh, okay, it's great.
Kid
Got it.
was coaching in Dallas.
Yes, he
He
was.
was based in Dallas.
Old Tommy D. Tommy Two Nickels.
Just wondering.
El Cheapo himself.
I'm just wondering things here. That's all
I mean,
I'm saying.
don't need to pay him a lot of money because he's getting paid $40 million to not work right now.
I'm saying who's going to be cheaper because they're making $40 million.
His spill the drink move is one of the most genius things I've ever seen a coach do in the history of sports.
He's also one of the worst human beings.
He's not a good person.
So I saw this.
Remember the last time we were looking for a coach, he was the prime candidate. He was the guy we were going to go get because of his Oakland roots and his relationship with Damian Lillard. And why did that get spoiled? Because of his past off-the-court lifestyle. And then, ironically, we hired a head coach who had to have the general manager drink a water bottle and shut down PR questions.
Henry Abbott of True Hoop tweeted yesterday, I covered Jason Kidd when he played for the Nets. I knew one of his childhood friends. I've been to his house, met his kids, his then wife, and Pilates instructor. And I have insight from many people who worked with him in his coaching years. This is a great firing.
He's that bad of a guy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty terrible. The Trailblazers' next head coach odds board looks as follows. Jared Dudley is the favorite at 2-1.
Okay.
Steve Hetzel, 3-1.
Now, you got to remind me. I know the names. Where's Hetzel? What staff is he on?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn staff. Okay. Because there's a Houston guy, a Brooklyn guy, and a San Antonio guy. Now, the St. Jean dude, I can't remember where he's coming from.
Greg St. Jean is third at 4-1.
What team's he on?
It'd be great if he was from St. John's, because Greg St. Jean on St. John's would be spectacular.
Let's see. The St. Jean's man himself is a assistant for the Lakers.
Oh, Laker guy. Okay.
Laker guy.
Terry Stotts is 6-1.
The Terror Bear.
Micah Nori, 8-1. Sam Cassell, 8-1.
Why is Cassell not getting more look?
I don't know. He's been an assistant for a long
time.
He's kind of becoming Brian Shaw. And I don't know if he's going to be good or not, but I'm just saying that's kind of how it feels.
Yeah.
Brandon Roy, 10-1.
That'd be cool.
Chris Quinn, Miami guy, 12-1.
Yep.
Darvin Ham, 14-1.
No, thanks.
Mark Bryant, 16-1. James Borrego, 18-1. Nate Bjorkren, former assistant, 18-1. Sean Sweeney, the Wemby
Seems like he's a
Whisperer,
favorite in some other markets right now.
20-1. And then, dear God, Terry Porter's on this list.
What?
Don't.
What?
I'll just tell you that much.
I mean, I love Terry Porter.
Be an ambassador.
You be the Rip City ambassador all you want.
The Portland Pilot run was pretty off.
The
When I heard
coaching run in general has not gone very good
some
there.
pretty bad stories about those Pilot runs.
Now, is it all his fault? No, but now I'm going to pass on that.
Yeah, so those are your odds-on favorites to be the next head coach of your beloved Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like there was a reporting, I think it was Stein had it the other day, that now, it seemed like Tiago had been ruled out, and now there's you can't rule out Tiago, so I don't know what to believe there, dude.
This is my whole point.
Yes.
Okay, let me just say this.
You
I
go
saw
ahead.
that report.
File away your point.
What is everybody to make if they hire Tiago? I said this at the beginning, and I'm going to say it again. What are all these media members going to say if they hire Tiago?
The guy that they want to be hired?
6 different times. Not a chance. No way. It was a spit in his face. There's no instance in which he's the coach. And I just said, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I will defer to you. But I don't know if I want to conclude that. Now, I'm not saying they're going to hire him. They might hire Dudley or Hetzel. But if they hire Tiago,
be pretty fine.
What are a lot of the media members going to say?
There's not a lot of response there.
That he came crawling back for $1 million a year, or they actually pounded up. And then what's the take?
What's the take?
That's been my whole point on the Dundon stuff. It's not that he's not cheap. It's just like,
let's see the answers before we react to everything.
That's all I'm saying.
I will acknowledge this, though, after the kid news yesterday. If I am a coach in any of these categories, I am not saying yes to a single job until I know the Dallas Mavericks job.
The Mavericks job is the best job.
Because they have Cooper Flag.
I want Cooper Flag.
And I want to coach Cooper Flag over wanting to coach anybody else on any of these other teams, and they have the brightest future of any of them.
Mosley took New Orleans gig. because I don't think anybody else wanted New Orleans.
No, and nobody else wanted Mosley.
All right, let's move on. A lot of Blazers in that hour.
God, stop yelling at me, man.
Blazers in that hour.
So angry.
Get to some football stuff and odds and ends in sports. Hour number 3, and then Statter Story in hour number 4, Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1, The Fan.
1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals delivered another playoff classic. The Knicks erased a 22-point deficit with under 8 minutes left to force overtime and eventually stun the Cavaliers 115-104 to take a 1-0 series lead. It's the largest fourth-quarter playoff comeback since 2012. Jalen Brunson led the charge with 38 points. Game 2 back in the Garden tomorrow. Some other NBA news. Jason Kidd is out as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks after 5 seasons and what the team described as a mutual decision yesterday. Kidd still had 4 years and $40 million remaining on his contract. The Blazers laid off reportedly over 70 employees from the organization, including roughly a quarter of the team's business staff. It's Tom Dundon's most significant cost-cutting move since buying the team back in March. And both your Portland women's sports teams back in action today. The Fire start their first road trip of the season against Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Coverage starts at 3:45 on 910 ESPN Portland. And the Thorns take on Bay FC at Providence Park. Tune in at 6:45 on our sister station, 94.7 KNRK HD2. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 3, Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. You got it, Dan. You got it. Let's whoop the last 2 hours' ass. You guys ready?
I'm ready, buddy.
Let's do it. Got a lot to get to over the next 2 hours of radio. A stat or story in the final hour. I was just alerted to something because I always listen to the Sports Center updates. I'm glued to them. Bottom and top of the hour. You know what Brandon notified me of? We're playing Caitlin Clark tonight.
Caitlin Clark is white.
We get our first Caitlin Clark game?
We do. Fire versus
now
Caitlin Clark.
in Indy, right?
It's in Indy.
Okay.
She's here at the end of the month.
Okay, so coming
So
in a couple
about
of weeks.
week and a half.
Have we looked at a recent estimate of those
I'll look it up right
ticket
now.
prices?
I'll look it up
I
right
will
now.
say this. I don't want this to turn. I mean, we actually can let it if you want. I meant to get to football stuff here, but I might get distracted. It happens from time to time.
Oh, I know I'm not going to get them. I'm going to be asking today for tickets to the Fever game.
You fly that one up the flagpole?
Yeah.
Hey, Cooley. Hey.
I mean, I was just told the other day.
We got tickets.
Ask and you shall receive.
You said look at the calendar.
Spragues are big Caitlin Clark fans.
I looked at the calendar here. It says the Fever are in town.
All right, here we go. Portland Fire. What would you venture to guess right now?
What are we talking here? Are we talking?
Oh, it's also a Saturday.
Yes, that's yeah. Let's look for
Good luck.
You know our stance. I'm not sitting
I'm
300
not a 300
level.
guy.
So give me high 100 level, and I'm gonna guess 125.
High 100?
High 100 level, right in front of the club.
You're not finding. So I have 4 people in my family.
You got a cluster. You got to take. Not easy to do.
If you did 4 tickets instead of 2, you're not sitting in the 100 section for anything below $188.
$188 a ticket.
You want to sit in the mid-court, midway point of the mid-court, like section 112?
Right.
$845 a ticket.
This is one of those things where it's like
She better not get hurt.
she better play in that damn
There
game.
better be
dude.
insurance packages on these tickets.
That
'cause
needed to be a part of their CBA is you're not allowed to load manage. You're playing every night. Have you seen what the ticket costs when you come to town?
She's still the needle mover of needle movers, man.
It's wild,
I don't think
dude.
she's the best guard. I think Paige
No.
Beckers is a better player, but she's still the needle mover. She's going to be the Grand Marshal at the Indy 500.
I saw that. That's pretty cool.
That's an underrated thing I'd love to do.
The Grand Marshal. Do you say ladies? Is that the one where they say ladies and gentlemen start their engines? Or is that like the Daytona 500? I'm not up on my racing.
No, I think they do it
Like
at
the
the
Kevin
Indy.
James one. Remember that famous?
Wasn't that at Indy?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I just know it was a race, and then they waved a flag, and then everybody started driving. real fast, and they were turning hard.
This is where our racing knowledge lacks.
We don't have. You're the guy, dude. If anybody on the show is the racing guy, it's got to be you.
I quit.
You're the monster truck bro. You got a Dale Jr. hat on. You drink a lot of Budweiser.
I have a Dale Jr. hat
You're
on?
a big Dale Jr. guy over there.
I have a Pelican hat on.
You're a big Jeff Gordon fan, aren't you?
I hated Jeff Gordon.
Hey, Jeff Gordon,
Dude,
was he the villain?
You could not exist in a world where you were Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt.
No, it
I was
cannot
an
happen.
Earnhardt family.
Cannot happen. It's like
So-
being Biggie and Tupac. It just does not. It does not transpire.
Of course, I rooted on Junior. Junior's career wasn't quite his dad's, but he had a good career.
He had a good
Just
career.
not a lot of wins.
A lot of turns. A lot of lefts.
So they don't say drivers start your engines.
Are
That's
they just in
Daytona.
the back of the car?
Okay, that's
They-
Daytona.
They do a traditional
A lap and a wave?
Yeah, they kind of say drivers report to your cars. So that's kind of like the
Gotcha.
initiatory,
That's
like
not
here
as
come the
fun,
drivers,
dude.
getting ready to
That kind of
get in their cars
sucks.
to start the
Indy
race.
500
It's
would be
so-
fun
yeah.
to go to, but that's kind of dumb. Can we acknowledge that? Get ready to go to your cars. What do we?
I saw this tweet like 2 days ago, and I want to give you an idea here, and I know we're not a racing show in any way, okay?
Is this going to be a car racing
No.
WNBA segment? When I meant to talk NFL, that's a hell of a pivot, dude.
I'll let you talk NFL.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, do you or anybody else understand, like, how big the Indianapolis 500 is?
It's a massive deal. I'm well aware.
No, not the event.
Oh.
The track.
Oh. I'm assuming pretty big track.
So I'm going to give you an idea. Inside the track,
Is that just an oval in Indy?
it's just a big oval.
Okay, it's not like F1 where they're doing zigzags.
No. There's
no
it's
zigzags.
just a huge oval.
I don't think I've
okay?
ever watched the Indy 500.
That's fine. I've seen bits. I've never sat and watched an entire Indy 500.
I've seen Talladega though.
Inside the track,
Yeah.
you could fit, if you emptied it all out and you said, all right, what do you want to build in here? You could build Vatican City, the Taj Mahal, Churchill Downs,
I think I'm playing Sim City right now.
the Rose Bowl Stadium,
Ooh.
the Roman Coliseum,
Holy shnikes.
the White House, including his ballroom,
Oh, ballroom included. I got to have my ballroom.
Liberty Island.
What's Liberty Island?
Is that your Liberty?
Oh, okay. I didn't know what the name of the island was.
And Yankee Stadium.
Jeez.
All inside the track. You could fit all of that stuff.
So if you're sitting in the stands, can you even see the other side of the track? Like that's
I
got to
think
be
you can- but
miles
a
away.
distance. It's like little dots go. Like, I think that's what it's.
That's
gotta
what it
be
is
like,
for about
yeah.
4 hours in a row.
Yeah.
That's what you watch.
And I'd be the guy with my headphones on. And I'd be like, ah, it's
Hell
great
yeah,
race.
there, got Busch Light here, my cooler, anybody want? Now that's the one if you when you drink milk, right?
Yeah.
You got to pound the milk.
I
Do you
think-
get to request what kind of milk you want, or do they give you the milk that they have
dude,
available?
I think it's the whole. Come on, whole milk.
It's got to be whole milk.
Ice
Although
cold.
some of those guys are
Whole-
like foo-foo Europeans, are they not? Are they asking for skim?
Do they
almond
fake
milk?
chug it? Like they just
Yeah, I think
throw
they
it
do.
down and they
I think
pretend
you-
they're drinking it, but it's really spilling out.
I think you block the throat and let it flow down your chest.
Yeah, it does look refreshing out of that glass jar. I gotta be honest.
When was the last time you drank milk?
Not very long ago because we buy milk. We do whole milk.
You do.
Yeah, half
You drink
gallons.
milk.
I don't drink milk, but last time I had milk, I had.
Well, I'm not saying like cereal. Cereal doesn't count.
Oh,
Like you just.
well, I had a little granola in milk.
Yeah, that's no countsies. You just had a glass of milk. Like, you know what I'm in the mood for?
Probably a couple months ago when I
A
had
glass of milk.
the last time I ate sugar was Oreos,
Trying to build up your calcium.
and so like I do little kids cups. We got those little plastic kids cups still.
Who doesn't have them?
I filled that up about halfway just
you?
so our dunkers. So it's Oreo milk, basically. That was about 2.5, 3 months ago. That was the last time I drank milk. What about you?
It's been a while.
Are you guys a milk family?
No, I mean we have milk because we're still bottling. He's still got the bottle going. It's going to be going for a while. But no, I can't tell you the last time I drank a glass of milk.
You didn't want to be the kid that has a 4-year-old on the boob? Well, some people like you breastfeed as long as you can. Some people.
He was not a good latcher. His latching skills were not solid.
Yeah.
We had to pivot out of that pretty quickly.
I can't believe there was ever a culture in society that made women feel bad about how that process went.
It's
kinda
one of those things
crazy.
of like you don't realize going into parenting of like how much easier or more difficult your life is as a dad depending on how your wife breastfeeds. Because if that's solid, if that relationship is simpatico, dude, total burden off of the husband and the dad's shoulders. But when that's not a good relationship and they're not latching and the milk isn't flowing, that's a lot more responsibility on daddy's back here. Number 2, let's get our latch down, okay?
Actually, I can believe that society did this to women
Exhibit A.
I mean, my God, how did that become about your life?
Buddy, let's latch here, okay? Try to sleep through the night. Let's
She's
latch.
just pushing and giving labor, and you're out here like, you know how much harder my life is that I got to make a bottle?
Dude, the Ducks got a game this weekend, all right? Don't distract me. By the way, on the WNBA front, it's been really cool to see.
We were right there, teed up for NFL, and you're like, back to the WNBA.
Well, no, I'm kind of on
It's
the
been
moment.
great, though.
It's
The
been
Fire stuff's
awesome.
been great.
I've seen a lot of stuff. Now, are you doing the Fire games, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm part of
Okay.
the game ops there. Yep,
So I've seen and I've watched the first game. And how many games have they played now? 4?
4 games.
They're
4
2 and
games,
2.
2 and 2, and so
and
they've been
2.
better than we all thought coming into the year.
Oh, it's 4 games.
I know we got a long ways to go, but it is not. It's not as long as the NBA season where they
No.
play 40 games.
About, yeah.
I mean, what percentage is that? We got to chunk down, right? But the opener was great. I saw a little bit of the last game that they ended up winning at home. The crowd pops on television are insane.
I've had people tell
Like-
me that have gone that they've told me that they're telling me confidently it's louder for these regular season Fire
Yes.
games than the playoffs were.
There was a moment late in the game where it was tied. They got like a breakaway layup. I can't remember exactly what the score
It was Sarah Ashley Barker
And it was
ripped
like,
it away from
dude,
Griner and just took it down.
The volume was so loud, it it couldn't handle it. It was like overmodulated.
Well, our friend Elise Woodward's on the play-by-play,
Mm-hmm.
and when she's calling it, I can hear the crowd pops, but I'm also like hearing somebody, and the Fire, because I'm wondering how much she's feeling
Oh, it's
drowned
got to
out
be
in her headphones.
incredibly loud because you're getting crowd mic in your headphones. Like it'll block some of it out so you can still hear yourself. But yeah, is your takeaway that it's been louder than Blazer games so far?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
far. Yeah, I'm curious of how long that's going to last
Sure.
during the season, especially depending on how they perform. But the turnout's been great, and it's been
The Connecticut turnout seemed a little. I saw a whole arena viewpoint at one point. It seemed less than.
I feel like
where
it's
it
gone
was.
less than per game.
Yeah.
So and that's what I'm expecting as we
From like
get
100%
into
to
summer and we
98%
have
to 95%
people
or
going
whatever.
on vacations and stuff.
The 300 section's starting to get a little barren in some of these, but I think with the Fever game, it's gonna go right
Well,
back.
it might
up.
change a little bit too, considering the summertime kids out of school. So if you got a Tuesday night game at 7 o'clock, it's
Those
like
are the
maybe
games that are hard.
a little bit easier to
Tuesday
go to.
games. Yeah,
This
But,
time of
like,
year it's tough.
Yeah,
Cameron
but they're
Brink
still-
comes back.
They're
It's gonna
still
fill
getting,
up.
I think it was 12,000 in that last game against the Sun. Like
That's a
they're
good
still
number.
getting
That's great,
numbers,
yes.
and for the crowd pop to still be that significant through the broadcast, it's impressive.
Well, I'm gonna throw that in my quad box tonight. That'll be fun. I didn't know we were in Indiana. I get to see Caitlin Clark against the Fire.
How much could you imagine if they did renovations in Moda and they agreed to play in the Memorial? How much more is that $846 ticket for Caitlin Clark going? That's an $1,100 ticket at minimum. Because
You're
there's only
losing
12,
how many seats?
12.5 in that arena
In the VMC?
In the VMC?
Dude, less than that. Now they took seats out.
because of the renovation.
The renovation, they
So
made the
call it
seats wider and
11?
they're all new. And so it's, I want to
10?
say,
You think it's less than 10?
I think it's less than 10 now. But I don't know. Maybe someone from the Winterhawks will chime in and text me and let me know. But I'm pretty sure they used to be right around 10, I want to say, prior to the renovation, and they took seats out in the renovation.
You might be selling that ticket for almost $2,000
Yeah.
if it was in the VMC. But it still, even at the Moda Center, that's a pretty high price.
I'll see if we can find a...
It's been good, man. I love the court. I still don't like the jerseys, and I saw Jackie Stiles basically say she's glad they kept the name because it preserves some of the history they had very briefly.
Jackie Stiles, yeah.
Yeah, they had their reunion night.
Yeah,
they
I
brought
did-
the whole team and the coach back.
Oh, did they from the original team?
yeah, the Connecticut
That's
game.
really cool.
So they celebrated the former team, and I see her point on that, but I still don't know if I love the Portland Fire as the name.
No,
even
I'm
though
not a
you're
huge
bringing
fan
it
of
back.
it. The logo's sweet. I like the logo. The logo's a good look. I still wish they would have gone with a different name, but at time heals all wounds.
The Rose logo's pretty good.
The Rose's
you can hate
badass.
the name, but
I want to get that I need a shirt with just the logo. I don't want the Fire stuff.
That's what
I
they
just
sell.
Yeah, I just want the logo.
They
Or a
have
hat with
sweatshirts
the
that
logo.
way.
I'd
Yeah.
rock that, dude.
Yeah.
Google AI is telling me, by the way, maybe I did shortchange him. No, maybe this isn't true. I don't know, but it's Google AI. They're saying it used to be about 12,000 for concerts, roughly 10,000 now following recent renovations for concerts. So if it's
don't believe
10,000
anything Google AI.
No, but if it's 10,000 for concerts, that's some floor seating that's available. So you're looking at probably 9 and some change, I'd imagine.
We better get this together, by the way. The Connecticut Sun ahead of us in the Juju Tankathon 0-5. The
Yeah,
Seattle
we're gonna be
Storm.
upset.
Yeah, you need to be in the. I think it's the bottom 4 teams are the lot like the best odds to get number 1.
Yeah, we got to pick up the pace a little bit here tonight.
It's been a fun ride.
Yeah.
Let's lean in and keep it fun, but lose.
You want to get a couple of dubs early, keep everybody happy and
We need
satisfied.
Juju Watkins.
And now can we not make the same mistake twice as Portland basketball fans? Yeah. Like win 35 games the year Victor Wembanyama comes out of the draft?
Can you imagine if we got the number 1 pick and we didn't select Juju Watkins? some European player. She'll be here in 3 years.
Who the hell is that? What are we talking about
What?
here? I got some football stuff I'd like to get to. We'll do that in a moment. How about right now, for those of you who just survived a car racing and WNBA segment? If you text the word Journey, Journey, to 503-864-6326, you'll be entered for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Journey speak at the Coliseum at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum, September 19th. You can go to 1051thefan.com for complete details. Again, text Journey to 503-864-6326. They're coming to town September 19th, and you got a chance to win a pair of tickets. Boom goes the dynamite. In the world of football, can I entertain you on any of the remaining players left in the free agent market and whether or not they are an impactful player that you would want your team to go after?
I've seen this list, and I'm just going to tell you now. You can name them off.
It's an immediate poo-poo. Immediate poo-poo. You farting on this thing?
It's one of those, like, one name that you're going to throw out, I think is still holding on to the name.
Okay.
But he's going to make a play, and that's kind of it. That's about all the expectation is.
Well, according to our friend Matt Bowen at ESPN, these are the remaining free agents that are the most lucrative on the open market that teams should be going after. Now, he also adds the best fit for each possible team, and I'll tell you what that is. Stephon Diggs, I don't know if you're aware, the charges were dropped. That court case went nowhere. Stephon Diggs still on the open market.
I don't have a lot of interest there.
Joey Bosa, edge rusher, been around a long time. You could have the MAGA Bros in San Francisco. Should they team up?
That seems like it's gaining traction to be a thing, and that's a name that I would say lives by the name, not production, and that's not doing much for me.
He had 5 sacks last year, 5 forced fumbles, and 42 pressures.
You can't beat the going all in, being the old-ass team allegations
with one
if you
more
make that addition.
Old-ass addition.
Yeah.
What about your old buddy Deebo Samuel, who is still on the open market? A disappointing year in Washington for him, but a little bit of juice left in the tank.
He was their leading receiver last year, was he not?
I'll take your word for it. I believe so. They were pretty bad, but I'll take your word for it.
I'll look up his numbers. He's somebody that, like, if you add, I don't have, like, an expectation to be what he was a couple of years ago.
I think the beauty of all these guys is if you're still on the open market, you're not looking at a big price tag. These are 1 year. Like,
he had 70 catches for 700 yards.
That's not bad, considering starting quarterback missed a good chunk of the year, too. That's not a terrible year for Deebo.
Dude, Daniels missed 10 games last year.
Yeah, he missed
Underrated.
over half of the season. Marcus Mariota was their quarterback.
Is he back,
the
by
GOAT.
The way?
Yeah,
back?
I think so. I think they love him as a backup.
Okay.
He's a good locker room guy, good mentor. He's the perfect backup.
He was their leading receiver, by the way. Because Terry McLaurin got hurt, so
Yes,
he
he
had
did.
72 catches for 700 yards.
Okay. So,
That's an okay name.
there's something there. By the way, I should be Bowen gives some fits here. He says Stephon Diggs' best fit is the Rams.
I don't know if I'm rolling the dice on that. You're already dealing with the Puka thing.
He's your number 3 wide receiver in that
Stephon Diggs
scenario.
and Puka Nacua both losing their minds because they had 2 catches. I don't know if I'm gonna roll the dice that.
You want to roll the dice on that one?
I think I'm out on that one.
Joey Bosa, his best fit was San Francisco.
Yeah.
So let's get the old bros back together.
They
the
need
Bosa
edge rushing.
Bros.
They want to combine him with his brother. I get it. Yeah.
Debo, his best fit was Indy. Going to Indy, being another weapon. I forgot that they lost. This is the fun time of year. I do this in baseball. When you turn on a game, you're like, oh, that's right. That's where that guy plays now.
They lost Pittman.
I had that with Pittman the other day because I wasn't watching, but it was shoved down my throat, OTA highlights, and Rodgers was completing passes to it. I'm like, that's right. Pittman's in Pittsburgh. Okay.
Metcalf and Pittman in Pittsburgh.
That's a nice little tandem. So Debo, he has his best fit is Pittsburgh. Jonnu Smith, tight end. Anybody out there looking for a tight end? His best fit is Carolina.
Yeah.
Cam Jordan still available, still playing. I feel like he's been
I was
around.
surprised by that. I thought it felt like he was retiring, but it was more of a goodbye to New Orleans.
He's been around for like 80 years. I feel like he's been in the league since 1994.
Well, that's a guy I'm surprised he's not hanging him up to dive into the media thing. He's really good on television.
Yeah, he's going to be a good TV guy someday.
So I'm just a little surprised some of these guys. Look, it's competing. It's having the ability to still play. You never know, and having that ability it's hard to walk away from.
Yeah.
He's going to be a good TV guy.
Bobby Wagner still available. Best fit Jacksonville. He averaged 9.5 tackles per game last year. That's 6th overall in the NFL in 2025. So he's got issues in coverage. He's not the most athletic guy, like at this point, especially in his career, but a guy who is still a tackling machine.
But what's his durability going to be as he continues to age? It's
I
been
don't know.
a fantastic Hall of Fame career.
Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
But yeah, that's a tough one because I can see it from if Jacksonville takes the roll of the dice, Good locker room guy.
Yes.
Help the younger players.
Great leader.
And for all the games you can play, if not all of them, like you're out there and you're still making some production with tackles. It's just about what you're going to be in coverage.
Be my short yardage guy, 3rd down, 4th down. Clowney is still available. Been around for a long time. Detroit is the best fit there. We know how bad their defensive line has been at the end of years recently and how many injuries that they've had in that front. A lot of these guys are in this similar category, right? Like Von Miller, still available. Anything there? His best fit is Chicago. Nick Chubb on the market. Dallas looking potentially for another running back. He has Dallas as the best fit, and the last one is Trevon Diggs, the corner, obviously, and the commies is his best fit. So
where was Chubb last year? Wasn't it?
Nick Chubb was Googling and I can't remember. He had 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. Houston, played in Houston.
Yeah,
4 yards a carry, only 122 carries.
Didn't feel like a really good year for him.
3 touchdowns and 500 yards last season. His run, that was 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, and you have the devastating injury in 2023, coming back at the end of 2024. Like, can you find something? If he's your 2nd or 3rd back and he's a cheap, off the scrap heap kind of guy, I got no issue with it. I think that's the one benefit of all these signings.
Guys are going to be cheap.
Right. None of them will cost you a ton of money. So Debo does something for me. I'd be willing to roll the dice there. An edge rusher in spots. Like, we've seen some of these vet edge rushers go places and have an impactful game or two. If you're relying on Jadeveon Clowney to be your number 1 pass rusher, you're screwed. Mm-hmm. But can he be your 4th or 5th pass rusher? If, guys go down, dude, we need somebody, then there's a fit. Same with Vaughn and Bosa. So there's some value there. But those are the best for free agents left, according to our friend Matt Bowen at ESPN, as we inch closer to the start of the NFL season. Let's stick in the National Football League, and concern growing for one area around one player. We'll tell you what that is next. 105.1 FM The Fan.
George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Big's Chicken. Try their smoked and fried wings tossed in the perfect dry rub and served with a trio of killer sauces. Menus at bigschicken.com. First on the Fan, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals delivered another playoff classic. The Knicks erased a 22-point deficit with under 8 minutes left to force overtime and eventually stun the Cavaliers 115-104 to take a 1-0 series lead. It's the largest fourth-quarter playoff comeback since 2012. Jalen Brunson led the charge with 38 points, 15 of those in the fourth quarter. Game 2 back in the Garden tomorrow. Some other NBA news. Jason Kidd is out as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks after 5 seasons in what the team described as a mutual decision yesterday. Kidd still had 44 years and $40 million remaining on his contract. The Blazers yesterday laid off reportedly over 70 employees from the organization, including roughly a quarter of the team's business staff. It's Tom Dundon's most significant cost-cutting move since buying the team back in March. And both your Portland women's sports teams back in action tonight. The Fires start their first road trip of the season against Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Coverage starts at 3:45 on 910 ESPN Portland. And the Thorns take on Bay FC at Providence Park. Tune in at 6:45 on our sister station, 94.7 KNRK HD2. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports.
Love this fan text line, 503-864-6326. Hold on, quick recap. Is that a WNBA Indy 500 and a breastfeeding segment? My God, I need
NFL free agency.
I need Tom Dundon to come in here and take care of you guys.
NFL free agency also in there.
Hey, you calm down, all right?
Which NFL player
talked football
is suckling at the teat?
Ooh.
Huh? I think we could say it. Nobody stopped the rug and tug. Nobody stopped the rug and tug.
Squeeze them damn things. Make sure you got 2.
I was going to let you breathe in that one for a moment. Water is warm. We have a lot still to get to in the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome back in. Harley notifying us that the Indy 500 social account posted what each driver requested. If they are to win,
okay,
you
that's
could
what
request what kind of milk that you want. And the majority of them, he said, took whole milk.
Yeah.
So the majority of them pick, none of that candy-ass
Does
crap.
anybody say water? Actually, I'm vegan. I'm doing water.
It's another fun trivia question. Is anybody who is lactose intolerant ever won the Indy 500?
I do think it's
had to have happened at some point, right?
I think it's a fake drinking thing if you're in that.
But even if you're lactose intolerant, if you fake drink it and you get a couple of drops to go down,
that's a problem.
What is I've never known a lot about being lactose intolerant.
So my daughter's got a little bit of this.
Like, does it just cause bubble guts? What are we talking about here? Bad bubble guts. That's the equivalent. Okay.
And it's like, I'm not saying this for everybody lactose. I can only speak to my experience of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's much like people in my life that have like shellfish allergies. I know people that will break out a little bit in a rash if they eat shellfish, and guess what they still choose to do?
You still take the risk?
They're still eating it.
I mean, if you want the biscuit, you got to risk it.
So my daughter, she's getting the blizzard, and she's going to suffer the consequences of that, and she doesn't care.
Sounds like me and Chipotle. I know what the outcome is here. I don't care.
You're signing up for
it.
Dude,
that double stuffed burrito.
I mean, do what you need to do,
It's fantastic.
The double stuffed burrito?
I mean, you double the meat.
Wow.
Give me the double the meat. One order of the meat's not enough. Brandon's with me over there. He's picking up what I'm putting down.
I think NASCAR has an event, the Brickyard 400.
Okay.
And I feel like they also chug milk.
So it's like the RBC Heritage Open. We also give out a jacket, but nobody knows about our jacket. Because if you ask me who's drinking milk after a race, Indy 500 is the answer. But I always love joking about that in golf. The week after the Masters, they go play at the RBC, and they give out a plaid jacket if you win.
So here's the thing. It's at the same track.
Oh.
It's in Indy.
But it's a NASCAR race.
Yeah.
Got it. Is that just an Indy thing? Milk big in Indy? They're proud of their cows?
I think that, yeah.
The Brickyard does not do milk.
Ooh. In your
Just
face.
Brickyard doesn't?
In your face, NASCAR
You sure about
guy.
that?
I just Googled it.
Well, Googling doesn't.
He just gave you one of these.
Hold on. Now, hold
He
on.
just gave you one of those. He just gave you.
Not today.
He did do that to
He
me.
did. He just
Do
swatted
they
that
jump
away.
to the fence?
So the Brickyard tradition is that they kiss the brick
Kiss the
wall.
brick
Ah.
on the
Finish
ground,
line.
You
right?
gotta kiss
Yeah.
the brick.
That's right.
gotta
I think
kiss-
they also do milk. I'm just going to say it. I think you're wrong.
In their private quarters.
I think
they
you're
get
wrong,
home.
and I don't want to be wrong, so we're just going to sit in that world.
That's how we live in society nowadays. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Any whoosies, that's enough race car driving storylines for the day, I promise. Well, actually, I can't promise, but for now at least. Let's get to this. So one of the guys that we keep an eye on, obviously, locally in terms of NFL quarterbacks is a former local quarterback, and that is one Bo Nix. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Tez Johnson is his brother, and he is the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. Now,
You're right. It is just the Indy.
it's just Indy, yeah. See, that's what a good producer does right there. You get the answers, give us the facts. He's just calling, to your point earlier, he's just calling balls and strikes.
You know, to be fair, most national shows, producer says it in the air, in the ear, not the air, to make us not look stupid.
But he can't do that because if he says it in your ear, you will go deaf by the end of the show because his volume
is
is so
also
loud.
true.
He does not have the ability to talk to us during the show unless he's on the air.
You're
So,
welcome.
Yeah, thank you for not making me go deaf. 'cause
you were
I already
saying
can't
about
hear.
Tez Johnson's brother.
Tez Johnson's brother is the quarterback of the Broncos, and I don't know if you know this, but he's undergone a couple of ankle surgeries this offseason.
Yeah.
And it's been a weird, and we've heard from Bronco fans in this regard, some Bronco fans have reached out and been like, I'm terrified. Others are like, everybody's an idiot who brings this up. There's you get both sides of the spectrum there.
Yep.
This was interesting. So James Palmer was on with Kay Adams on Up and Adams, and he was asked about Bo Nix and his recovery, and I thought the answer was interesting in what is a massive year for him because you're now in the world of quarterback play. If Bo Nix has another good year, is he getting the extension? A lot of guys get it after year 3.
You're in the conversation, and maybe they're going to be ahead of themselves so they don't have to suffer the consequences of that number down the road.
I mean, they're talking about playoffs in year 1, solid rookie year, step forward, AFC title game, obviously, they lost
They
the
got
AFC
to the AFC title
but
game,
he
though.
didn't play in the
And
AFC.
but he was the
But
quarterback
he beat
to
the
get him
Bills
there.
in the divisional round, and so it's you're there. If he has another good year,
I mean, the way he's playing right now, he is certainly in line to get the extension and me to
Yes.
be wrong.
and this is where this answer I thought is interesting from James Palmer.
They do think he's managed himself pretty well outside the pocket. They've given him the liberty. They think he takes care of his body pretty well for the most part in terms of taking hits, getting out of bounds, sliding, things like that. And him on the run, I mean, I remember having this conversation with Davis Webb, and he comes into this equation. Obviously, we'll get to that. On the sideline before a game last year where he was like, I think he throws on the move, on the run better than any other player I've seen. And that's the way they want him to continue to move outside the pocket. So that's going to be part of this offense. And obviously there's going to be some changes with Davis calling the plays. Obviously Sean still has a huge input on the way this offense operates. But this was, a big talking point in Denver because everybody was going, he's ahead of schedule from Greg Penner, the owner, to Sean Payton, to George Payton, everything perfectly fine, easy procedure, Kay. And then he has a second procedure and it slides him back a little bit. But he'll be on the field in June. He'll be full go in July, I'm told. And so when training camp starts, he should be right there. But that offense, you're right. We should keep an eye on it. Garrett can talk about it a little bit, my guy GB, but they want him to continue to move, Kay.
And it's been an interesting offseason because to his point, initially it's no big deal, pretty clean surgery. And then it's his coach coming out saying he's had X amount of surgeries, and then Bo coming out the next day and
Refuting
saying,
it.
that's a lie.
Yeah.
I have not had that. And then Peyton kind of having to walk those comments back, and then everything's on schedule, and now it's not on schedule. It's been a very and maybe this is much ado about nothing, and we look up and we're like, remember when that was an NFL offseason storyline? Or maybe it's something, and you're talking about a guy who I think to the original point that he's bringing up there to Kay Adams is that one of the biggest driving points of his success early in his career has been his mobility, scramble around, throw on the run, broken plays. That's been an underrated aspect of his game that we probably should have given a lot more credit to coming out of Oregon because he was really good at it there. And if you lose 5% of that, I don't know what it would actually be. What does he look like as an NFL quarterback?
I would make an argument it's made his entire career.
Yeah.
Him out of the pocket. I don't know if I'd take him number one
What are his
out of the
rushing
pocket.
numbers the last 2 years? Let me pull that
Throwing,
up.
but his rushing has been exceptional when he needs it. And his ability to move the pocket and not just hang back there, because it's not like he's the tallest guy in the world.
No.
So, I would argue that's been some of the driving force of his entire career so far early on. I mean, to me, it's not nothing. And also the Peyton thing is fascinating. We saw him bark back at Peyton his rookie year, and they still have moments every now and then where you get a little And now there's a new OC. There's a new play caller in Denver. They didn't want to lose Davis Webb. He's the OC. He'll be calling the plays. But how involved is Peyton going to be down to down or quarter to quarter? I'll be curious because that relationship, I think it's fine. But also, I'm not going to say that there isn't some interesting stuff there. The barking back and forth, that hasn't happened to Sean Payton much in his life.
No.
And then the surgery thing was bizarre. You don't have to agree that Bo Nix is in any danger here moving forward. You are lying to yourself if you don't acknowledge how bizarre it is to have the head coach say he's had multiple surgeries.
Something medically about a player.
Yeah, violate his HIPAA rights, and then have the player basically come out and say he's straight up lying.
Yes.
That doesn't. Can you find that out in the NFL where we have quarterback and coach dialogue that way?
I don't ever remember that being a story between coach and quarterback.
You have to acknowledge that aspect of it. It's something to watch and follow. Could be an absolute nothing burger, and if he's able to continue to be mobile, move the pocket, make those plays with his feet, we won't worry about it much. Could be Steph Curry ankle issues back in the day. Remember, that was a big concern, and then it never came back.
A lot of Warrior fans wanted them to trade Steph Curry over Monte Ellis because of those ankle issues.
Well, my biggest question isn't even necessarily about these injuries, though I am concerned about it. I did have a back and forth listener about him when he was drafted, and I'm just one that I had the opinion I didn't think he'd be a franchise guy, but like a long, lengthy NFL career.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he signs an extension, when do we fully designate or define what the franchise quarterback is? Because if you tell me first contract, I'm throwing in your face Tua Tagovailoa.
Sure.
If you tell me first contract, I'm going to throw in your face Kyler Murray.
Carson Wentz.
It's not like guys haven't signed the first massive deal.
Yes.
When do you define it if it's not
That's a good
Mahomes,
question.
Lamar, Allen, Burrow?
I think you need a combination of obviously team success is important for ranking of those players.
Okay.
So you need to have that element of it, which he checked those boxes last year, like going on a playoff run, and he was good in the post. Like he was really good in that Buffalo game.
But they can lose wild card weekend, and I still would say he probably is going to get the contract. They
Yes.
can lose the next wild card weekend. He's probably going to get the contract.
I'm looking for some key factors in terms of his numbers last year. His completion percentage dropped from his rookie year to his second year. He went from 66.3 to 63.4. His yard per attempt, which is not the biggest stat for everybody, but some people like keying in on it, 6.7 to 6.4. His quarterback rating, again, not the end-all be-all, went from 93.3 to 87.8. So there were numbers and categories in which he dropped off. Touchdowns was 29 to 25. Now he cut down on picks by 12 to 11. On the surface, there's no issue with the numbers, but I think I guess there's almost two different definitions of it. Like franchise quarterback, to me, I think he's already kind of answered that. It doesn't mean that you won't come to regret a contract, because that certainly has happened across the NFL. But in terms of I feel like sometimes when you say franchise quarterback, your mind goes to he's going to carry the team, and I don't think he's one of those guys.
I think that's kind of look.
I think he's a franchise quarterback, but he's not. I don't have any thought or idea that he's going to be
He's a Sam Darnold franchise quarterback?
Yes. He's not going to break the ceiling down, and we're going to put him in the same conversation with Allen and Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Well, yeah, because there's only so many of those guys.
There's only so many of those guys, and I don't view him as that as a 26-year-old.
Right.
But I think he's answered the question, at least as of now, that he's a franchise quarterback. But some of those numbers got to get better and go in the other direction, because if they did a little bit more, then that's kind of a concerning trend.
He's a bit of a polarizing topic, actually, in Denver. I think there's a lot of support for him.
Franchise quarterbacks are usually loved, but yeah.
But he's had some weeks where the numbers are not amazing, and they debate it all the time on their sports radio stations.
Also, you're going to have to pay him a lot of money. A lot of money. That's going to eat up some of your cap. So that decision is ahead. Palmer said keep an eye on the mobility of one Bo Nix. The hypocrisy was on display yesterday. I'll explain that next. 105.1 FM The Fan. Welcome back in. We got Statter Story coming up, final hour of the show. Is Travis Kelce going to wear his free Rashee Rice shirt to OTAs?
Oh, dude, you had one job to do.
Just,
not
do
smoke
that.
weed.
That's all.
He's going to spend more time in jail for smoking weed than he did for his
driving
driving
100
incident.
miles an hour and ramming into the back of cars and nearly killing people. Seriously, now he seriously injured people, right? Did he kill any? He didn't kill anybody.
I don't know if
did
he killed somebody. I think that
I thought
takes
there was
it.
some injury, but he was
I don't know if
going
there's
like
vehicular
100 into the
homicide. He was like 107.
107 into the back of another car, right? In a traffic jam,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, that's
Free Rashee Rice, man. One of the all-time I get defending teammates in certain cases, like Patriots wearing Roger Goodell clown shirts after the Brady
that's
deflate
funny.
gate, right? Like, he deflated. Like, what are we doing?
But
here?
did they wear free Aaron T-shirts?
I don't believe that they did.
I don't think they did either because his it was evident because they all knew he was crazy and capable of doing such things. I think the tough thing is Kansas City has so many likable elements of them as a franchise. Like, one, most of our lives, no matter what your age is,
Chiefs have been cool, man.
they were always a cool, fun team to root for because
Tony
you didn't take them
Gonzalez,
seriously. Tony
Priest
Gonzalez,
Holmes.
Priest Holmes, like Trent Green.
Yeah.
And even before that, they were the Marty Schottenheimer letdown team, and you felt bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got Andy Reid, and you're like, yeah, dude, Andy Reid's actually a good coach. Holy crap, they also got a quarterback now. Oh, my God, look at this tight end. Then you draft a wide receiver that punches his girlfriend in the stomach while she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And then you win with him, and it's like, And then you're like, okay, I can kind of get behind the organization having some success. It's awesome. Those are diehard fans. Arrowhead's an awesome place. Let's get rid of the guy. All right, hey, we're going to draft Rashee Rice. You got
You
elements,
had one job to do. Let's not smoke any weed just for a little bit. How about that? Can we take a little breather, baby?
It's really, as somebody that has smoked weed, it's really not that hard to not do it.
Nope. You go a couple of days and be like, oh, I'm all right. He's got to go to jail for 30 days after testing
He's
positive
going to
for
miss
marijuana.
the OTAs.
Yes, he is. But I'm sure they'll wear free Rashee Rice shirts as if this one also is not his fault in Kansas City. I chuckled at this. We don't need to get into the debate over how we want it to look or what the ultimate result will be. But Tony Petitti was behind a lot of microphones yesterday, hooting and hollering about what he wants the college football playoff to look like. To boil it down, essentially their stance is 12 or 24. There's no 16. 16 will not happen. Over our dead body, we'll never vote for it because we're losing revenue here and there, and it doesn't gain that much revenue elsewhere. So they're anti-16. It's either 12 or we're blowing this thing up to 24 and doubling in size. But did you see? So a lot of the talk coming out of Big Ten Media Days or Spring Media Days was about the idea of models being unsustainable and we're spending all this money. Like Pete Thamel wrote a piece where the industry's unsustainable rhetoric meets this trophy case. How long until we have $80 to $90 million football rosters?
For the Big Ten Spring Media thing, I saw the backlash to this.
Did you see where their spring meetings were happening?
The nicest place in the world.
I think it's called Terranea. I don't know how to actually pronounce it, but that's what it sounds like to me. Terranea, thank you. Palos Verdes, California. It is an oceanfront retreat.
It's so beautiful.
With a pool. I mean, have you been there? Have you been?
When I was at Fox, we would have our not upfronts, but we had our pre-season meeting there for the football season for college football and
to
NFL,
get ready to go.
And they would have their meeting there for a couple days.
So you got to stay there?
No. I didn't. Heck no. I was on the bottom.
That's just where they had
But the higher-ups would go have their meetings
Yeah, all the
there.
higher-ups and all the commentators stuff, they'd go play golf and and stay out there for the weekend. It's a pretty look.
It's
a beautiful view of the
gorgeous
ocean.
estate.
Yeah, I didn't live too far from there either, so I would play golf in the budget-friendly courses around there.
Yes.
So, but no, pretty spot.
How about that?
I just chuckled
We
at
don't
the
know how to
idea
spend
of
our money. We can't make
talking
it.
about being unsustainable, and it's
I
like
know.
Stuart Mandel. Now, people immediately pointed out that they have a deal with USC, I believe, like that resort has some sort of connection. So,
so they're saving money though.
they're saving money actually.
Cost
but
us nothing.
Stuart Mandel found. Do you care to take a guess on let's look at if you want to stay there for a night for one room? Let me pick a random date. Let's pick June 15th. It's a Monday night.
Oh boy,
it's a Monday night.
High demand for Monday night.
June 15th.
Okay.
For one night, you want to go stay. Terranea? Is that
Terranea.
Terranea. Okay, Terranea. One night, June 15th. How much do you think it's going to cost you?
Real quick, help me understand about something with Southern California or that area.
Okay.
because I've been there a ton, and I've been there in a couple different months. But like, is June a good month to go there, or would I prefer to go there in January, December, or August? Like, is June a good month to go?
I mean, June's a busy month because that's where everybody goes down there for summer stuff. So I would say, I mean, I would if I were to go back down there, it'd probably be more in like the September time where it's not.
It starts to die down.
The heat's starting to die down
Kids
a
are
little
in
bit, but it's on the ocean front anyway,
I
so it's
know.
cooler on that side of the
Okay.
coast anyways. Like
Right.
if you're on the beach side, you get the cooler weather compared to the desert side of LA.
Sure, being a little more inland.
So yeah, I would shoot for probably like before the summer hits. So like either April or May or September.
Okay, so June's
October.
a decent month to
So
want to
June,
go.
you might find a deal. I doubt it. But
All right,
you
I'm
might
going to
find
say this is a one-bed room.
I don't
a
know how many.
standard?
It's a standard room
Okay.
per room, one night.
$580.
You're close. It's $1,326 for a night.
Yeah, but
Now
if I
there
had
are
a
nights
USC
in there
deal-
with fives. If you want to stay on Wednesday, June 3rd, you can get a $525. So it's all pricing based on the rates of the traffic of people wanting to go there.
Well,
dynamic pricing, whatever we call it.
I know Danny Meringue, and he is a USC fan, so I get a
Yes.
discount now. 'cause
Oh, is that a
USC
discount by
USC.
association?
It's the USC thing.
Yes, it is.
You know.
I love the idea.
I love them touting that.
We're
USC.
spending way too much money. These kids are asking for way too much money. Let's go sit by the pool and discuss this, shall we?
They've always been.
Anybody want a cocktail?
They've always been the dumbest sport of like, we don't know what to do. It's rampant spending. How are kids going to make this money? Coach, go away. Here's $85 million. Hey, new coach, here's $100 million. We're going to lock ourselves into all of this.
There
Idiots.
was our guy Pate responded to this, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said something along the lines of the SEC hosting their spring medias at like a Motel 6 in Mobile would be a perfect optic. They'll never
To
do
try
it.
to get the 16
But like,
team
look
playoff.
at us here, okay? We're saving money, okay? We're not wasting money in places where it doesn't need to go. With the big wigs staying at poolside resorts, we're staying in a Motel 6. They leave the lights on for you.
They do.
We got a lot to get to in the final hour of the radio show. We got Statter Story coming up at about 9:30-ish, a little bit later than usual, but Statter Story is right around the corner. We got Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals tonight. Sprague will tell you exactly how this game is going to play out and who will win. I want to start there with a couple of more nuggets out of the National Football League, including when will the breaking point come with this topic? We'll start the final hour there next. Sturt and Sprague, 105.1 FM The Fan.
From the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals last night delivered another playoff classic. The Knicks erased a 22-point deficit with under 8 minutes left to force overtime and then eventually stun the Cavaliers 115-104 to take a 1-0 series lead. It's the largest fourth-quarter playoff comeback since 2012. Jalen Brunson led the charge with 38 points, 15 of those in the fourth quarter. Game 2 back in the Garden tomorrow. Some other NBA news. Jason Kidd is out as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks after 5 seasons in what the team described as a mutual decision yesterday. Kidd still had 4 years and $40 million remaining on his contract. The Blazers yesterday laid off reportedly over 70 employees from the organization, including roughly a quarter of the team's business staff. It's Tom Dunnan's most significant cost-cutting move since buying the team back in March. And both your Portland women's sports teams back in action today. The Fire start their first road trip of the season against Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Coverage starts at 3:45 on 910 ESPN Portland. And the Thorns take on Bay FC at Providence Park. Tune in at 6:45 on our sister station, 94.7 KNRK HD2. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports Network.
Hey, let's do this. Final hour. Dirt and Sprague here. Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube.
Shout out the Hoggies.
Love our Hoggies. Lots to get to. Statter story coming up. Matter of moments. Excited for that. Game 2 of the conference finals. Nostradamus himself, Brandon Sprague, will tell you bucket by bucket who's going to win that game tonight.
Really?
Who should we gamble on? You know what? We might have to. I'm going to call a hot route here. I will get to what I'm going to talk about in a moment. But Ralph and Gresham is in with a request.
Okay.
And I will grant the request.
What's your song request? Ralph, who do you have and who do you want to shout out? Hey, Ralph.
Wish you happy birthday to Bobby, my good friend, and Grandma, I love you.
I want to request Feel Like a Woman. Shout out my wife. I love her.
Look, I don't know if you don't have to love country music. You hate country music. Man, I Feel Like a Woman comes on. You're moving. Are you moving?
Well, the best thing about being a woman, I don't know the rest
is
of the
that you
words.
want to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, come on.
I was stuck
if that song comes on.
Look.
You're tapping your toe at least. Can I get a toe tap out of you, Brandon? No toe tap?
No, sorry.
No toe tap?
Do you have any idea how confusing as a human it is to be 14 and come out of Park Rose High School and then get in the car and your mom is singing that song?
She just wants to feel like a woman.
And I'm like... And we're here.
And this is happening.
This is happening now.
This is going to almost send me down a different rabbit hole pivot, but Brandon and I are doing an ice-breaking relationship piece of activity on Friday. We're playing golf together.
Oh, are you also missing a show to go golf?
No.
Just every foursome in the world that I'm not invited to be able to play golf?
I deserve that one.
I'm going to find an Oregon State-based golf tournament and just randomly drop them out. See you later. I got a birdie.
I will be here on Friday. I will not be missing the show.
Next Friday, you won't be here. Next Thursday, you won't be here.
Golf is Thursday.
Oh,
Golf is
okay,
Thursday.
all right.
It's meeting people, all right?
The Friday one.
Somebody's got to go shake the baby's hands, all right?
The Dan baby?
But this is a...
Is he going to sue you if you don't show up?
My reaction, though, is, Brandon, you telling me you're not I imagine you're not a country music guy at all? Or do you
think
like
he's going to surprise us here.
Ooh.
Not that type of country. I have pivoted as I've gotten older to tolerate country music.
Okay, you can get along with it.
Back in high school,
you're out.
I couldn't stand
We
it.
were in a country music meeting.
I got country music in the playlist for golf, so we'll see. Maybe I'll skip through some songs.
Again,
for you.
I will tolerate that.
And so there's a conversation happening internally with us and somebody at the country station, and it pivoted into award performance. Casey Musgraves bought race car talk, and Dirt's just like with the dip, and like, oh yeah, man, I love that performance. And then the other guy, oh man, I'll tell you what, that performance good, man.
Casey Musgraves is great, dude.
And I was just sitting there like,
on.
what language are they speaking right now? How am I in this meeting?
You feel like an alien on a different planet.
I totally
None
felt.
of this is connecting,
Dude,
You're my
way out
NASCAR
of
guy. I got nothing with NASCAR.
I obviously don't know anything about NASCAR
We
to my
learned
Brickyard
that today.
400 celebration.
Well, in a roundabout way, the reason I bring this up, somebody said it's a great karaoke song with the boys. My prerogative is to have a little fun. Amen, dude. Shania Twain's great.
I wouldn't eliminate it from the karaoke. Especially if you took the Garth Brooks obvious karaoke song.
Blaming all of my roots.
Yeah, showed up in boots.
Ruin your
If
black
that
tie
song's
affair.
taken, I don't know
That
any
one's
other
already
songs.
been done. You gotta pivot to song number 2 in the country genre.
It's a George Strait song. It's the Feel Like a Woman, or maybe it's Thunder Rolls.
What's your go-to George Strait karaoke
Pure
song?
Country.
Pure country.
Yeah. My little brother performed it at a talent show.
You're damn right he did.
He wore straight
You got
up.
some redneck in you.
Oh, my
It's in there.
stepdad was a little hickish.
It's in
There's
the
no
bones.
doubt, yeah.
You got to bring it out. It's like a werewolf coming out at night.
Talk about confusing. Imagine being around monster trucks, but in North Portland while people are doing cocaine.
That's an interesting combination.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a world. And I lived in it.
That's a melting pot. That's what we would say.
It really was.
No, like Ralph, he does not want to shout out his buddies. He did want to. He basically said, "Screw whatever segment you're going to do, just throw it out." He wants an update on the Danny and Joe golf clash that's going to happen. He's offering to buy everybody carts and booze and cigars to drive around and heckle their asses during the round. So, like, look, this is going to become a thing. I mentioned it on the show yesterday. We say a lot of dumb stuff on the air. Our producer thinks he can swim 500 yards out into the ocean. I think I could wrestle an alligator. A lot of this stuff is, like, unprovable. The claims that we make, like Will Ortner is never going to take a punch from Mike Tyson. This is one that we can follow up on because it's just any sort of athletic endeavor. Now, they both play golf, and they're both braggadocious to me about their golf games. I hear a lot of the secondhand stories about how they smoked a 5-iron that weekend or should have seen me hit my drives at the driving range. Like, I get that from both of them. And they're also relatively in the same ballpark of handicap. So it's not like there's a huge stroke advantage going on here that's got to go either way, which helps when you get peer competition going. So I'm going to meet with both of them today. We're going to go over our calendars. We're going to find ourselves a nice little Saturday that works to go play some golf. And I promise you, I'm going to set this up. I'm going to set the tee time. They're going to give me the days at work. I'll make sure it works. Anybody that wants to come can come. My question is, though, because they wanted to play, they both live down near Chehalem Glen, which is close to their, I don't know about Danny. I think Danny moved. But I know Joe lives down there, and that's kind of his home course. I want them out of their comfort zone. I don't want them playing a course that they both played the majority of the time.
Neutral site.
I need a neutral site game,
Yeah.
thank you. And I want to know where's the best place for a neutral site game.
Well, I can't think of anything better than a tightly contested round where they're both going to hole 12, sitting at plus 14, and 12 through 15 at Stone Creek.
Ooh,
You want to talk about what breaks you?
Stone's a good pull.
Those 4 straight holes.
How do you survive the gauntlet?
100-yard par 3 over a little canyon. Easy peasy.
Why do I chunk it every time?
I chunk it every damn time. Or somehow it sticks on the back hill. How? It's tryout.
How is that not coming back down?
Roll down.
Doesn't
I
make
hit the
any
right
sense.
shot here.
Okay, so you think Stone Creek is the best
Yeah.
because of the back closing stretch on the back 9?
I don't know if Joe's played the course ever. I don't know if Danny's played the course ever. And I know those holes will break
Yeah,
them.
that's because I want something. You got to.
There has to be some challenge here.
There's got to be challenge here. And Chehalem Glen is a difficult course. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, the up down on the back 9 is
Don't
no
walk
easy
it.
breezy.
Take a course take a cart when you play there. It's mainly about the idea of I don't want them to know the new. It's you got to be a fish out of water in this moment.
How do you
This
gauge?
isn't Augusta. We don't play her every year.
Right.
This is a new course for a U.S. Open.
How do you gauge confidence factor into who you pick to win an event like this? Like, let me give you an example. Danny will tell you he's the best at everything you
Yes.
could possibly think of.
Yes, he will dunk on you. He will. Yeah,
And Joe has that arrogance and air to him, but
that's why this is perfect.
I'm starting to wonder, not shaking your boots level, it feels like Joe in a roundabout way is hoping this doesn't happen. Because I think Joe thinks he has more to lose then Danny, even though Danny's more loud about his braggadociousness.
Interesting.
Because Joe hit me with a random text at like 2:45 yesterday.
So he's thinking about it in the middle of the day then.
And this was like we hadn't talked. Unsolicited.
We've been gone for hours.
You know he doesn't want to participate in these shame games. And I said, dude, he is pissed.
I think he's all
what
about
you
it.
did.
He's
I think
all about
he is all in.
Yeah.
You unsolicited going, you really think he wants to do it though? Makes me hear it in a little bit of a
I'm not letting him off the hook here.
Quivering like, well, are we sure? Because I think Joe thinks he has more to lose here.
That's an interesting point because I feel opposite of that, but I see your reasoning of why you do. I told this to Joe yesterday because the claim from Danny was I can beat you in any athletic endeavor. You name it, I'll beat you. Mm-hmm. And so in terms of the shame games, which is now what we've called this, if you'd like to sponsor it, give us a call. We would love to have corporate sponsors as a part of this. I told Joe, if you just win the first event, it's over.
Well, there's only going to be one event.
Sure,
we
probably.
Gotta be honest about
I mean,
that.
we can find a way to do one-on-one basketball to 21. That's not complicated to find a gym.
Joe's
and go put
kind of
some
already
shots
quit
up.
on that.
Yeah,
He's like, I might be the worst basketball player at the Fan. He thinks you're really good.
He thinks I'm good at basketball?
Yes.
Joe Fisher?
He goes, I think
thinks I'm
Dirt's
good.
super crafty. And I was like,
Crafty? What?
I think Dirt has a 1-inch vertical.
I can't jump, dude.
I don't know.
What?
I'm just telling you what he's texting me.
I mean, hey, I'll take it. If you think I'm good at hoops, man, I'll carry that badge around.
I want you to.
I just won't ever try and prove it because it won't look like that.
If Danny beats Joe,
yes, in golf,
Joe has got to sit in a little bit like he instigated the whole thing.
He did.
Now. He brought it on himself.
He did.
If Joe beats Danny, Danny's going to be like, I had hip replacement surgery and I tore my hamstring 4 times yesterday. So, like, he's already got the built-in, these aren't even my knees. You wanted me to play golf with not my knees?
Yeah.
He's got that in his back pocket.
He does.
Whether you want to say that's an excuse or not.
Yeah.
You know that he's got, the hip's been bothering lately and the back is,
Right.
I got to get my back replaced in a year.
That's an interesting question of who has more to lose.
Joe.
Yeah. But he wasn't the one, at least, that said to Danny, I can beat you in any athletic endeavor.
Nobody led Danny to it.
He did.
If you bring the wolf
He did.
to the prey.
And then the wolf eats
and the
prey.
wolf starts biting.
You got to be upset at yourself for that.
You got to be a little bit of like, what did I do?
Because I'm trying to lead Meringue to a different direction. Because Meringue will go on these I could let's get you on a bench or a power lift or a clean. It's like, yeah, dude, you're stronger than Joe. I don't know. I don't think Joe Fisher lifts weights. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe he's in the gym pumping iron and I'm just not aware. I don't mean to disrespect your strength, Joe Fisher. But that's not that's a different category. When you're talking just overall brute strength, everybody would pick Danny to win that competition. When you say athletic endeavors, to me, that's not lifting weights. There's some sort of competition that needs to take place here, and golf and basketball and the like. I think we've decided no matter what we do, Swag would be a delightful rules analyst, following the group along in zebra stripes, ruling on red stake, white stake, penalty stroke, having it be a match play event. So it's not like one, you get a 12 on a hole and you're playing stroke play, you're basically done. I'm not going to do that to him. Match play is the best way to do it. Match play is the most underutilized aspect of golf, hole by hole.
It's the quickest way to do a round.
Yeah, it's perfect.
If somebody's blowing up and they're clearly going to lose the
I
hole.
hit 2 tee balls out of bounds and you hit a drive on the green. All right, that hole's over.
Yeah.
I'm going to the next tee box.
Exactly.
We don't need to finish that thing out.
Yep.
Couple thoughts coming in. OGA getting chimed in. Tough course. OGA is a great spot.
OGA is a tough course. Beautiful course. Love
Beautiful
me some OGA.
spot. Stone Creek, awesome. Somebody said. People wanting it to be filmed. I would love.
I want to film it. I want to do I want to be the guy with the headphones with the microphone. That's like, all right, we're about 160. Wind's probably playing about 170. Danny's going 8-iron here. That is ballsy.
Is aggressive
With a bad hip.
Will he get it?
You think you're turning into that?
Will he get it?
Hey guys, he's short. 8-iron short.
It'll be nice if it's a place like Eastmoreland getting chimed into.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's
Eastmoreland. That'll test you. Eastmoreland's, how you feeling about hitting fairways today?
Talk about a course that just dominates.
Because if you're not feeling good about hitting fairways today, it's gonna be a long day for you. It would be nice if it's a course that we have a relationship with, because I'd love to announce this publicly, what time it will take place, and have people come follow along.
If there's even 2 people willing to show up to watch this,
Ralph, I'm holding you accountable.
Golf.
Ralph, I'm holding you. You're the one that sparked this entire segment. I want you following the group in a cart. You can play the music. I'll let you DJ. I'm getting around a golf out of this, too. I'm trying to wiggle my way in, although that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I just want to play as much golf as possible.
Who is the first one to use an excuse in the round? Because Joe's already given me my back's been tweaked for about a month.
He's already given you, I'm a little tight. I'm a little tight back there. That's a good question. I don't know a lot about Danny's golf game other than the stories that I hear from him. I've never played golf with Danny.
I've only golfed with Danny once. It was about 2 years ago at Riverside, and he quit on hole 14.
Okay. Was it right after surgery?
I can't recall, but he
Okay.
basically was like, I'm not
done.
feeling very good. I got to leave.
How was the game? How did his game look? Let's be an honest assessment, because the only time I've ever played with Joe Fisher, he hit a tee shot on 10
And hit a car.
at Eastmoreland into a windshield, which I had never seen before because those trees are really tall.
Yeah, and they tried to get
and
away
then
with
they
not
drove
paying for
onto
it.
the course,
Yeah, they did.
and that ended up being an insurance payment for him.
I would guess at around hole 13 or 14 at Riverside, Danny was probably sitting at a 103.
Okay. With 5 holes to go.
Yeah.
So he's having a rough day.
It wasn't a great day. A
having
lot
a
of
rough day.
dog legs out at that country club.
There is a lot of dog legs out there.
They just call that Dog Club Country Club. Dog Leg Country Club.
Dog club.
Whatever.
I mean, I'll
Dog
let it
Leg Country Club would be an exceptional name.
We now have people offering to do the social media content in the Joe Danny Classic. Color commentary
what
aside
do we-
Sprague.
What are we calling it?
We got to
Joe
come up with a
Danny?
name. Somebody said I live across the street from Stone Creek. I can help you guys out. I'm telling you, dude. So I'm going to talk to them both today.
Also, you got a nice house you live across Stone Creek.
I mean, yeah. Can we come to your house for the post-round, beverages
Sorry
that we're going to have here?
speeding a couple times. I've been late for tea times. 20 miles an hour. What are we doing there?
Yeah, those speed bumps.
Sorry, we're
Get-
going-
Get those speed bumps out of there, Stone
Hey,
Creek.
you
Come
like
on.
to be on 30 once in a while. What do you want me? I got 10-minute tea time.
That
That gate better be open. Dad's turning in.
We've all been there before.
Come on.
What time is it? It's 11:53.
And you know you see the person walking to Stone Creek on the path,
Yeah.
and you know you slow down right
Yeah.
as you pass them.
the dog walker. Yeah, you live in the neighborhood.
Yep. Well, it's a nice backyard,
All right.
basketball pool.
So I'll take the courses into consideration. We'll noodle on this. I'm going to find a date. I promise it will be publicly announced. I'll put it on social media. We'll talk about it on the show. The Shame Games was, I think, the offering of the brand man
the
yesterday.
Shame Game Invitational.
The Shame Game Invitational. I do
the
like
DJ Classic.
Yeah, it's not bad. The Joe Danny Classic's not bad.
Yeah, the DJ Classic's pretty
that's a
good.
solid- like somebody said, make it part of the Fan Golf Classic. I brought that up yesterday, but that's not.
That's hard to navigate into the.
That's
Fan
hard to
Golf
do,
Classic.
dude. And it's also like it's a shamble format, and so the rounds are a little bit longer. And
It's
then
just not possible.
It's not.
It's got to
and
be a separate
They
thing.
need to be, or Danny needs to be at the 6th hole to hang out, and so it's just it's got to be a separate thing. I want it to be a separate thing. Although the idea that Dusty had was to let them start on 7 at Langdon, and so the 6th hole, the Angels Envy hole, is the 18th hole for them. And imagining it coming down to that tee shot,
The 103
that
yard
short
volcano
par 3, somebody missing the green and having to chip up to try and make a par to try and save the match or whatever would be phenomenal content.
I can only go off what I've seen, and if it came down to that hole as the 18th to win the whole tournament,
Who you trusting to hit that green?
I'm pretty sure Danny went 0 for 48 last year.
He did have a hard time finding the green.
It's
It's a difficult green to find. He had a hard time finding that green.
The thing I appreciate about Danny is like a couple shots just went super wayward, and it was like that's weird.
Gives you like, where did that come from?
I don't normally hit that shot.
That came out of nowhere.
My
dude.
shot shape's usually more straight than it is like going left there.
We got a couple alpha males here. I think they're both going to be eager to book this tee time. I'll coordinate dates. I like the course ideas. If you got any other ideas, text them at 503-864-6326.
Who do you ultimately say has more to lose from this? Because I do think I'd vote
I see
Joe.
your point on Joe. I don't look, they both have something to lose here because they both were running their mouth, so whoever does end up losing is not going to look great in the outcome of it.
Danny's going to be like, I just squatted 7,000 pounds yesterday. What did you want from me today?
I'd say not squatting 7,000 pounds. That's your fault if you choose to do that to your body.
I can't lose weight. I got a wedding.
Like, I go back to Joe was the one that instigated the entire thing, so certainly a lot to lose.
He did.
Danny with the comment of I could beat you in literally anything.
With like a raised voice.
A confident, like, name it, I'll beat you in it.
With a psychotic, like,
Yeah.
stare-smile combination,
Yes.
if you can envision that.
I think in that regard, I lean, it's a 51-49 for me more to lose.
It's one thing to say, I'm a better athlete than you. It's another
Yes.
to go, I'll beat you in literally any athletic endeavor.
You name it, I'll beat you at it.
Who uses endeavor? in like their just regular vocabulary.
And if Danny wins the first one,
like what?
The shame games might continue. If Joe wins the first one, that's kind of it.
Joe's walking off.
Joe's walking off.
Joe's
He's not
done.
doing it anymore. But if Danny wins, we might go to basketball next. We'll see where the process takes us.
I still maintain we will make this happen.
What are your odds on a golf match? Give me that. Match play, 18 holes. Who's your favorite? Give me the Vegas odds.
Dude, if I'm going to go what I'm hearing, it sounds like Danny golfs every weekend.
Sounds like he plays a lot.
And it sounds like Joe hadn't been playing. I think it starts
Joe
with...
had the itch, I thought. Is he not itching anymore?
I told you, give me the back thing.
Oh, God.
I think it opens Danny minus 120, Joe plus 110.
Okay.
A very close.
Very close, either way.
And then maybe after the opening tee shot, the odds completely swing one way or the other. Of all the stuff that was said, beating you in any athletic endeavor is quite a thing to say.
Yeah.
Bragging about you being the most exceptional route runner while also finishing with "I can't catch" is...
This has turned into quite the thing.
One of the funniest lines I've ever heard from a human in any athletic conversation.
We talked after the show to Joe Fish for a bit yesterday before we left, and he, by the end of it, was comparing himself to Hunter Renfroe.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins.
And, yeah. Amari Cooper.
Like, what are you doing right now?
And then I asked, what's the most catches you had in high school in a season? And he said 5. I think Hunter Renfroe had more than 5 in a season. I'm just going to go on a limb, and I'm going to guess. And then he tried to shame Hunter Renfroe for being bald.
He did.
I'm like, so?
He's pieced you up, Joe. I love it, dude.
Wild.
I love irrational athletic confidence, man. I'm a big fan of that. I'm gonna make this happen. I got the bull by the horns. I promise.
All right.
We'll find the course. I like the idea so far.
I want to film this. I think this would be good YouTube content.
Great YouTube content.
People love golf YouTube.
Come follow the round. We can take bets, have a bookie out there. Swag will be the rules official. It'll be a great time, man. So we'll keep you updated as we get more details on the shame games or the Danny and Joe Classic, whatever we want to ultimately call it. Let's get to Stat or Story. We'll do it next. 105.1 FM, The Fan.
Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Mixed plates like Grandma used to make if your grandma were from the Big Island. Woodstock, Burnside, Beaverton, or online at ate-oh-ate.com. Time for a update. One WNBA game on the slate last night. The Toronto Tempo beat the Phoenix Mercury 98-90. So as Portland Fire fans, I feel like we have to just keep an eye on that team across the border since we're both new expansion teams. Brittany Sykes and Marina Mabry were the first teammates in WNBA history to each record 30 points in a single game in a franchise's first season.
How about that?
Wow. So you're just looking at that and you're like, oh, well, we could have had that too. I mean, maybe we can have that kind of offense. I know Bridget Carlton had like 26 points a couple games ago. But then you just look at that, you're like, dang, we could have had one of those on
Would have been nice. Would have been nice.
We want to be worse than them, though. That's
Yes,
the goal
we do.
this
That's
year.
true.
May 20th. It's May the 20th, also known as World Bee Day. It was established by the United Nations in 2017 following a proposal by Slovenia. It marks the birthday of Anton Jansa, a pioneer in modern agriculture and one of the world's greatest experts in beekeeping. Also, one more animal note. Shout out the mouse. Ben Golliver, hired by ESPN as a senior writer.
What? When did that happen?
Working for Mickey Mouse.
Look at our guy, Ben, dude.
Miska Muska. Ben Golliver.
We knew he would land on his feet, one of the best writers out there. I'm going to give a random baseball stat for you. Remember when the Cubs were a freight train and couldn't lose? Well, they're no longer in first place.
Well, my Bravos stopped all that.
Your Bravos helped out there. So did the Brewers, who are now in first place in the NL Central. And how about this? The Miz, Jacob Mizorowski.
Yeah.
First pitcher in Major League Baseball history to have 5 straight starts with 8+ strikeouts and not allow an extra base hit. He has not allowed an extra base hit in a month and 5 days, and he has struck out 44 batters in that time.
Wow.
Remarkable.
That's crazy. That's Dirt, Sprague, and Brandon from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is a conference finals week edition of Dirt and Sprague, brought to you by Video Only, 105.1.
That's right, folks. It is stat or story time. Happy Wednesday morning to you. Let's get to stat or story. See what we got cooked up. By the way, more ideas coming in, and love you all. If somebody said, can you do a show live from the course like ESPN does at the Masters?
Dude, you're making me work overtime here. Maybe a 1-hour special edition tee-up of the DJ Classic.
People are asking for a triathlon of debauchery. They want more events out of this.
Yeah, we came up with the list. I just don't
We
think
did.
either want to do it. I think
No.
ultimately I land in maybe calling it the Shame Game Invitational.
Yeah, I like that. Another one of these things going to be more unhinged than the waste management. It's, we'll have some fun out there. We'll have some fun. I'll go ahead and start running a little late here. Let's jump right into
All
it.
right.
Today, your number today, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Yes.
Your number. Now, it's going to be right up your alley, so I hope you get it.
Okay.
12. 12. Is it the number of points for Taylor Hall, who plays for? Exactly, the Carolina Hurricanes, as they start the Eastern Conference Finals tomorrow night against Montreal, leading Carolina in points 8 games into their playoffs because they have not lost yet? Or is it the number of people at Six Flags who had to walk off of a roller coaster as they lost power in the middle of the ride?
I'm so glad they weren't mid upside down loop. I can't imagine anything more terrifying.
They were
than
250 feet in the air, walking down the side railings of a roller coaster.
Yeah, and I get
another reason to not ride roller coasters.
Well, I'm kind of pro roller coaster. So they've only played 8 games in the playoffs, right?
8 games. They're 4-0, 4-0. 2 sweeps.
I'm gonna go Story. I'm way off probably on this. That seems like a lot of points in 8 playoff games. 12 points. I'm gonna go Story.
Story. Okay, Brandon.
I'll go Stat.
You gonna go Stat? Oh, hold on, I got the wrong. Oh, I don't know if we can play the dings, can we?
Oh, I got the dings.
Can we play them?
Yeah.
Well,
Why
then,
can't you play it?
I mean, I will, because I think we're playing the music off of it right now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit. Here we go.
It's
a little muffled.
It's very faded.
A little muffled. It's there. This is indeed a stat. Taylor Hall, 12 points. Now, do you know how points work in the NHL?
Yeah.
What is a point?
Well, a point is either a goal or an assisted goal.
There you go, dude. He's got 3 goals.
Check me on my
I've
hockey
just
knowledge.
blue line Brandon.
You
I'm
think this
making
is the
sure.
Brickyard 400
Look,
conversation?
I'm not doing this for you. I could care less. Couldn't care less. Could care less
Couldn't
about
care
your
less.
hockey fandom.
You couldn't care less.
You have a young generation of hockey fandom in your household.
I do.
And we need to make sure she's raised properly in the hockey world.
Yeah.
And when there's questions about icing, you got to be able to answer those questions.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure we're on the same page of points.
Okay.
12 for Taylor Hall, 3 goals, 9 assists. They start the Eastern Conference Finals at home against Montreal tomorrow. If you try and count the number of people, it looks roughly about 30 that were on this ride at Six Flags.
Oof.
And I just, look, there are a lot of reasons why I don't like roller coasters. I'm not a big fan of the feeling of dropping. You can call me a pansy ass all you want. That's fine.
Well, I don't like dropping rides, but I like the roller coaster move around, turns, loops.
The idea of waiting in line for an hour in hot weather, usually, finally getting on a ride. How long is the average time of a roller coaster?
Dude, it feels like less than 2 minutes.
Right? It's just like that.
Pretty
It's
quick,
over.
yeah.
And I just waited in line for an hour for that feeling. It's hot, sweaty. Now I got to go get another line for another one. And then the random idea that there's, some dude building this thing.
Well, it's
and
not
if
a random dude.
If
They
a
didn't
bolt
get
comes loose or a nut isn't screwed in the right way, you got to check your nuts
Hold
on
on
these things.
Let me stick up for the engineers.
They
out
don't
there.
check their nuts close enough.
Yeah, okay.
They had a power outage, and you can go watch the video. It is terrible. Like, they're at the top of the roller coaster.
About to drop?
About on the drop point, and they're legitimately walking down the side of the railing.
Well, it's
at
usually
200
wider than
feet.
you think up there.
Sure it is.
It's still scary.
Sure it is.
Also,
I'm out, dude. I'm out. Shut them down. Use the land for something else. Build more golf courses.
anti-roller coaster. So when
Yeah.
you go to a California Adventure in Disneyland with Teddy Ballgame
not gonna happen.
and Milt,
It's not going to happen.
you won't get on the Incredicoaster?
It's not happening. We're not going to Disneyland.
You won't even ride it once?
I'm not doing it. No, we're not going to Disneyland. I'm dying on that
Nah,
hill. It's not happening.
bad take.
It's
That's gonna age
expensive.
poorly.
There's no need. We'll go to Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's going to... Yeah, okay, let's do the same vacation, Dad.
Yep,
Okay.
sounds great. Go sit on a beach.
So I don't
some
like
boogie
rides
boarding.
that just do the up and downs. So like the Tower of Terror, or now it's the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Right.
I had a feeling what that ride was going to be. I hate that. I can't do the drop when you don't expect it, and then shoot back up, and then drop again. Like, I
Right.
can't do that ride.
Right.
I can do a roller coaster.
You can do roller coasters.
And let me defend the engineers here. I don't think they put the bolts together thinking about power outages. This is just bad luck.
They didn't check their nuts.
This has nothing to do with nuts.
What's wrong with your bolts?
It's also, they didn't get Steve on the side of the highway. You looking for work, Steve? Yeah, dude, I want to build a roller coaster.
That's how it works.
I don't think that's how that works.
Have you ever been to Oaks Park?
Well, they've revamped it. They've revamped it. I don't think they have these issues anymore.
I knew some of the kids who used to run the rides down there. I don't think there was an engineering degree involved.
Dude, the octopus ride always got me sick. I could not do the octopus.
Somebody said call it the Cargo Short Classic for the golf tournament.
Cargo
That's solid right there. That is solid.
That's good.
All right, you guys. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Your number is 2887.
2887.
2887. Is it the number of total points Shaden Sharp has scored the last 3 seasons? Or, and this is a little bit of a dirt Stat story? Or is it the total points accumulated by the South Florida Sails to win the Blue Marlin Open in the Bahamas, making it the first title for Ben Simmons?
Yes. Who said he wasn't clutch? I did see they win the championship. I have no idea how points work.
I read the story. I don't know how points work, but that's fine. I think it's by weight of fish.
So Shane Sharp in the last 3 seasons?
His total amount of points he has scored combined in the last 3 seasons.
Oh, God.
This is an impossible thing. You're just guessing.
Give me story. Give me story.
Okay.
/ stat.
Brent, what?
Because it's also a stat. You cheated.
It's a funny story. It's a funny-ass story. The process worked for this guy.
It did.
Finally.
Somebody said it's the most Sixer thing ever. You get the number 1 pick in a generational draft, and the guy's
first
winning
title?
a fishing title before he turns 30. How old is Ben Simmons? He's not even that old.
I think he's like 28. The funny thing about Ben Simmons, he was seen fishing in the bubble.
He's 29 years old.
He was fishing in the bubble. Little did we know that was the training and start of a title run.
Foreshadowing.
Just not in the NBA for the Sixers.
Nope.
Brandon, where are you going?
I'm going to go stat again.
You're going to go stat. So in the order, it is a stat. Shaden Sharp, the last 3 seasons, has scored 2,887 points. Ben Simmons and the South Florida Sails somehow accumulated enough points to win overwhelmingly the Blue Marlin Open in the Bahamas with 2,925 points. Ben Simmons' first title, trust the process, is a fishing title.
You know, he's going to get made fun of a lot. Hell of a life. He got paid hundreds of millions of dollars to not do anything.
How much do you think he made in his NBA career?
I mean, he got a max deal, did he not?
He did.
180 million? 200 million. Am I shortchanging him? He's 29 years old. He's already retired. He's got enough money to live comfortably the rest of his life, doing whatever he wants for the rest of his life.
He signed in 2020. He signed a 5-year, $177 million.
So it's that plus whatever his rookie contract was, which is what a rookie contract's the number 1 pick. It's got to be $200 million. And then he had the cup of coffee with the Clippers. It's got to be $200 million.
$203.3 million.
You've made $200 million. You're 29 years old. You don't have the wear and tear on your body some of the other guys do because you didn't play. You were not available.
They took a team photo,
He looks
by the
happy
way.
as hell, man.
He's 6'10", so he's taller than obviously everybody. He looks so happy.
You would never hear or see from me again. I'm just going to fish. I got $100 million in the bank. Living in the Bahamas. See you later.
As many people pointed out, their 2 big catches came from somebody else.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. You see the James Harden of fishing?
He said, quote, I have always believed that investing in what you love means you have a responsibility to move it forward. Sport fishing has given me incredible experiences, and the South Florida Sails is creating a platform that treats offshore fishing like the elite sport it is. The number 1 pick in the NBA draft that mentally lost himself in the NBA. I have always believed that investing in what you love means you have a responsibility to move it forward, he said about fishing.
Yep. Got to move the game forward.
Man.
Think about the bigger picture.
What a 30 for 30 that needs to be.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what do we got, Brandon?
All right, real quick. Number is 5.
5.
Is it the number of Inside the Park Grand Slams since 1994? Going back to that question from earlier on Sneaking It Up. Or is it the number of streaming services the average American subscribes to monthly?
Okay, so 5 total Inside the Park Grand Slams in baseball history?
Since 1994, yes.
Dude, have we had more... No,
I can think of multiple
no-nos?
Inside the Parks, but I can't think of how many of them were Grand Slams.
How many perfect games have we had since 1995?
Oh, God.
Is it close?
10, maybe?
You think we've
Does
had
that sound
10?
right? Since 95?
Dude,
am I wrong on that?
What if this is a more rare stat than perfect games?
Very well could be. I'm going to go stat. Give me stat.
I also have a stat vibe. I'm going stat.
Give me stat. Double stat. Wow. Is it more or less?
It is 9.
9?
There are 9
Okay.
inside the park Grand Slams since
That's
1994.
That's a little more than I would have guessed, actually.
Absolutely is.
Yes, the number of streaming service the average American subscribes to is 5.2. It is National Streaming Day today, by the way.
Happy National Streaming Day,
Let me see
everybody.
this. So I got this is the Wikipedia one.
I got a new documentary that I know I'm going to get roped into on Netflix.
Which one?
The Crash. Have you seen the headlines for that?
What's that about?
I mean, it's really morbid. It's the gal that killed her boyfriend and her boyfriend's friend running her car into a brick wall. She survived, and the other two died.
And she was the one meaning to
Claimed
them?
it was an accident, but she was then later proven to have not been an accident. The dad is still a teacher, I believe, at the school. He just got suspended because he was in the documentary defending her. She's spending life in prison, but yeah.
Wait, so how many since 95? 9?
9. It's a niner.
Since 94.
There's been 10 perfect games
Hey, I hit it
since
on the head.
1995.
10 of them, huh? That
It's
sounds
more
good.
rare to see an inside the park Grand Slam than it
Perfect
is an MLB perfect game. That's
Way to go, Mets.
crazy.
Way
Way to go, Mets.
Way to go, Mets.
Let's
Way to
go,
give that up.
Mets.
Let's go,
Let's
Mets.
go, Mets.
There you go. Saturday Story every Wednesday at 9:30. Let's wrap it up. Game 2 of the conference finals. We'll close it up next. 105.1 FM The Fan. Your neighborhood restaurant group brings the fan poll question on X every day and dinner tonight at one of their 5 locations: Sandy O's, Big's Chicken, Reverend's Barbecue, 808 Hawaiian, and Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse. It is up. You can go vote at Dirt and Sprague on Twitter. By the way, I would like to announce officially, after doing this for however many days we've done this for, I now am not misspelling restaurant anymore.
Good for you. I figured out my word.
What's your word? I also figured out the error that I never saw, and now it has become very obvious to me. I would always put an R after the T. Restaurant.
You just skip over the AU?
I mean, I had an AU, but it came after an R, and every time I'm like, it's A-U-R-A-N-T.
You had an A-U-N-T?
I was like, and now it's done. I now know how to spell restaurant. I'm very proud of myself for that.
I figured out, for whatever reason, I always misspell genuinely.
Yeah, it's a good one. I also cannot spell
In
genuinely.
fact, I just misspell it now just to correct it. That's all my goal is.
Just to know that you're in the neighborhood.
That's all the goal is.
Neighborhood restaurant group poll question of the day. Who wins the Cargo Short Classic? 18-hole match play event. Danny Meringue, Joe Fisher.
Okay.
Go vote. At Dirt and Sprague
That's
on
the
Twitter.
neighborhood restaurant group poll question
That
of the day.
is our poll question of the day. Let me pull it up, see if I just put it up, so I don't know if we have any votes yet. No votes yet.
Well,
so you can
the
go
Twitter thing is becoming stupid.
Yeah, it's teach their own. Way to ruin a pretty solid app there, Elon. Who got dunked on harder yesterday was also a poll question we have up. Chris Dudley or the gas tax. You can go vote on that one as well. Dudley, the early leader in the clubhouse.
I don't even think there's a close competition here. Nobody liked the gas tax idea from the get.
Yep.
Bipartisan agreement on that. Chris Dudley made me think that he legitimately might win the nomination.
Based on the number of ads I saw and what reporters locally were telling me,
it
felt like he had a chance, and that certainly was not the case.
Feels like we have a real election cycle of like the same thing. And now what are we going to do in Oregon? We're going to run it back from the last one.
With our luck, we'll probably get Trump versus Hillary again. You see Live Golf might be going bankrupt.
I thought they already did.
They haven't got their funding dried up. Those are different. I see your point.
Somebody wrote an article.
Technically different things.
Somebody wrote an article when it was announced that the Saudis had pulled the funding.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was being butt cracked, and it was, for the first time, Live Golf's going to actually prove why they should stand on their own. And I'm like, nobody's funding that.
No, they're not.
They couldn't get any viewers with it funded. Why would you fund that?
They're trying to deny this reality, but the reports were leaking yesterday. They might be filing for bankruptcy once their season is done. They already canceled their event in New Orleans. Let's get to tonight, man. I saw quickly before we get to the main course, a little appetizer for you. You do get game 1 of the Western Conference Finals in the NHL. Colorado, been a bit of a wagon so far throughout the playoffs. Vegas, this kind of feisty. Like, we look at the win difference between Vegas and Colorado, it's pretty sizable. Colorado won 55 games this year, Vegas 39. So a pretty heavy favorite in the series, but that's the beauty of hockey. You just never know. So game 1 tonight, it's on ESPN, 5 o'clock. There is your appetizer. Let's get to the main course.
Who do you like in that one, Colorado?
Colorado, yeah. I'm not going to rock the boat on that. They seem... The way that they came back and won the clincher against Minnesota kind of told me all I needed to know. They were down big. They were facing a Game 6 back in Minnesota, and they were like, we're going to score 3 goals unanswered to go on and win this game. The one we're all excited for, though, and the odds on this, man, like I feel like I'm jumping on the train too late to bet it tonight. They have played now, I believe the number is 5 times, right? San Antonio and OKC, because 4 in the regular season, correct me if I'm wrong, plus the game 1 of the conference finals. I think
they had the NBA Cup tournament game.
Oh, God.
Was one of them.
Does that count in the games? I don't know.
I think they've played in total 5 times.
Okay.
And they're 4-1 against the Thunder this year.
OKC still favored by 7.5.
I think that is a little bit of you saw this last night with the Knicks until they had that crazy run. Both teams did what? They swept their way through.
They did.
Cleveland went to a 7-game series. Now, I know San Antonio ended up handling Minnesota. That was a 6-game series. I thought you saw a little bit of that rust. And New York showed it last night until they lost their minds and Cleveland sucked. So I can understand anybody wants to bet the Spurs. I can also see...
When I got that big of a sample size, like, I don't know if they win, but
I have a hard time seeing
7.5?
every game being so historically awesome that it's exactly game 1 all the time.
Yeah, somebody's going to get blown out.
You might get it one
point.
way and the other, right? San Antonio might have a blowout win. Oklahoma City has a blowout win. I would kind of really, and it's ridiculous because they haven't actually proven to solve the Rubik's Cube known as Wemby, I'd kind of lean with the Thunder and the point spread there. Even though I did that in game one, and I couldn't have been more wrong.
And I was thinking the same thing of, like, I took them in game one, and I had that thought, and then San Antonio is now won 4 out of 5. And I get that the playoffs are a different animal. It's only one game of the series.
But it's part of stuff. We just watched the playoff game.
That's a lot, dude.
What did you think of the one thing we didn't get to in that game one? It couldn't have ended any better than his block and him standing there.
The whole team looking at him on the sideline.
Taking it all in of like, oh my goodness. He's also one of the worst post-game interviews in the league.
He is not very good at all.
I can't quite understand. And he can talk just fine, but for whatever reason in the post-game.
Yeah, the optics of it are also really funny too because you got some reporter who's
so short.
3 feet smaller than him.
I think his brain is really scattered post-game immediately. He needs like more time, and these post-game press conferences are the better avenue. I don't know how they solve the problem, but I also don't know if he's going to play the same level. I mean, that was like historic.
We saw that in kind of the Portland series too, right? Game 1, he was dominant and couldn't do anything wrong. Game 2, now he ended up getting hurt in the game, but he got off to a pretty rough start in that game, wasn't doing a ton. De'Aaron Fox, by the way, still a game-time decision, so we'll see if he ends up playing tonight.
Did you see what Shaq nicknamed him?
Who, Wemby or De'Aaron Fox?
Wemby.
What? No.
He goes, he plays a lot like David Robinson and Tim Duncan. I'm going to call him Tim Robinson. And everybody hit him with the Tim Robinson. I think you should leave memes. Do you know there's a comedic actor with multiple television shows?
There's a pretty big name, pretty big celebrity right now who has the name Tim Robinson.
One was, you sure about that?
You sure about that,
And
Chuck?
then the hot dog.
We're all trying to figure out who did this. I'm going to take San Antonio, dude. What the hell? I might even sprinkle a little on the money line. Let's get weird.
I love it, dude. You might as well take San Antonio for a sweep if you can get good odds.
Why not, dude? I'll keep you updated on the Cargo Short Classic as details emerge. Not to be confused with the Fan Golf Classic, which will be happening out at Langdon Farms next month. That will do it for us, folks. If you missed any of the show, go check the podcast, 1051thefan.com, 1051thefan on Twitter, and at Dirt and Sprague on Twitter. Thanks so much for being a part of our Wednesday. We will talk to you tomorrow at 6 a.m. The Firm, Harrison Morangus next. Listen to 1051 FM The Fan.